Yes, sir. I am. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? Put that on me and do it again. Had to put it close to the drop. All right, we're getting an explosive intro here. There we go. Wow, I can't believe this hate here. You know what, Vin 10? This is boomable for me. Hey, come on. It's got the air horn in there, bro. Holy peak. How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Saturday request stream. This, of course, being a 20% album discount stream, which has led to a pretty insane queue already. This might be the stream with the, how do I put it? The least amount of requests, but the longest length. And it's because of this album request in particular that we have right here from Scarecrow. Now, this is the first one in the queue, but there's a couple other songs in the queue, so we're going to do those first before we get around to this long album here. This is going to be Scrim's new album. If you're wondering why the request is so long, why the request is so big, it's because Scrimmy Boy decided to drop a 59-track long album, which Scarecrow has very generously requested today. I appreciate that, man. So first we're going to be doing a couple songs, and then we're going to be getting to this album, and then after that we have a album request from Racer Ghost. So we literally have 4 requests in the queue, and that might use up the entire stream today. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going nutty today. Who do you got in the UCL finals? Okay, I'm going to have to... Don't judge me here. I'm going to have to Google this first. UCL. Oh, okay. Champions League. I see. Wait, is this Arsenal PSG? Is that right? I knew it. Okay. I like Arsenal, but PSG are also pretty good to play as in FIFA. At least back when I played it. But I'm going to go for Arsenal. All right. Red is a nice color. 100% understandable, Scarecrow. Definitely. I would recommend it after this big, beefy one right here. How's it going, Hunter? So welcome, everybody. And yeah, let's get started. We're going to kick it off, as I said, with our 2 song requests that are in the queue today. So the first one comes in from Will Anderson Edwards. Then we'll get started with big, beefy album time. So, looks like, hold on, Streamlabs. I paused it. Hopefully Streamlabs will work today, but even if it doesn't, it's a pretty short queue. No, we're doing yours first, Ocean Spirit Blue. No worries. So the 2 song requests, there's one from you and one from Faded Love. They're going to be the first ones we do today, and then it will be the Scarecrow album request. So, first one is coming in from you, Ocean Spirit Blue, Will Anderson Edwards. You're saying right here, refreshing. Found this on Instagram. Peak White Boy Anthem, that's for sure. Well, listen, let's see how that's gonna go. It is Get It White Boy featuring Kid G by Buckle Down. Instagram feels like such a treasure trove for weird ass music. I really need to go on there more looking for stuff like this. Does this even have a Genius page? I don't think so. I think it's Genius pageless. Oh, is anyone else having brief audio cutouts by any chance? I should troubleshoot that first, just in case. I think everything looks good on my end. I'm not 100% sure, though. Let's see. Oh, wait, I could unmute it. See if my audio is cutting out. Let's see. Oh, wait, I could unmute it. See if my audio is cutting out. Let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, now that's just going to go in an infinite loop. Okay, let me mute that. Should be okay, though. Hopefully, it'll stay all right throughout the entire stream. How's it going, Chulies? You are not late. We literally just started right now. We just have a beefy opening to the stream. So the queue is closed. Also, married to 6'7". What is going on here, man? Sorry. I just recognized that name on the Twitch side of things. So hopefully, you know, audio and everything stays consistent, but let's see what we're going to get on Get It White Boy, sent in by Will Anderson Edwards. Let's go.
Say, man, turn that shit around, throw something for a white boy real quick. Shit, get it white boy, get it white boy. Aye. Every time I hit the club, they all be screaming, get it white boy. Bitches love my music, cause that shit be hitting right boy. Love it in the club.
Alright, white boy and right boy, that's the rhyme scheme we're going with. Hey, how's it going, Movie Madman? Yeah, Q is going crazy today. I'm doing good. How about you?
Get it white boy. Get it white boy. Saying you don't know me, but you gon' remember white boy. She ain't never met a cracker that can do it like me. I been a gangster in the streets. I hit the G up in the sheet. They stacking cheese up on the beats. I got them creaming and they see. You want a reason you can
who you know?
Tell the DJ play that heat. You feel that music, beats can beat it up. Home show me you can eat it up. Pussy boy go buy a bottle. Think they throwing ass for free or something.
It's a very active beat.
Why the fuck you sitting sober? Grab that bottle and bitch drink it up. Every time I hit the club, they all be screaming, get it white boy. Bitches love my music, cause that shit be hitting right boy. Love it in the covers, cause I hit it all night boy. Can't leave the fucking house without a screaming, get it white boy. Get it white boy. Get it white boy. Saying you don't.
There's a sound in there that sounds slightly like a Soulja Boy U. I also have a smudge on my glasses. Hold up.
Saying you don't know me, but you gon' remember white boy.
I'm white as fuck with all this beer inside the station. These Aussie boots got them all thinking I'm from Texas. I said, now y'all thinking about my boy named Buckle Down. She started throwing that thing back, I put my buckle down.
Bars.
Make that ass clap. Come here. Said, make that ass clap, baby. I'm a white boy. I'm a white boy. I hit it right, boy.
See, this is what it would be like if Tom McDonald would just loosen down and turn up a bit.
Love it in the covers, cause I hit it all night boy. Can't leave the fucking house without a screaming, get it white boy. Get it white boy.
This is alternate universe Tom McDonald, where he wasn't super annoying.
Get it white boy. Get it white boy. Saying you don't know me, but you gon' remember white boy.
It's got a pretty good beat. Who produced on this? Composer is Aris Morgan, apparently. Low-key a bit of a slap right here. I'm not too mad at that. I am not very familiar with Buckle Down at all. But that was certainly something right there. But chat, are they actually white? I mean, that's the message I got from the song, Chulies. But then again, they could just lie as well. That's always possible. This guy raps like Forgiato Blow. That has to be the biggest insult of all time. I think the last thing you want to hear as a rapper is that you rap like Forgiato Blow. If I heard that, if I heard that about I Am Jace, probably retire again. This, I think, was fun enough for what it was. You know, it had a pretty active beat that felt like a bit of a throwback to maybe late 2000s-ish. Maybe even like mid-2000s kind of club type of rap. The verses were entertaining enough. It's not like there's going to be any like standout show-stopping bars on something like this. I think it's just meant to be a fun and energetic club style of track. And I think it works as that. It's not something that has me like, oh, I need to hear more Buckle Down or Kid G. But like, cool enough for the kind of song that it's going for. Also like that little, you know, buckled down wordplay, you know. She thought, it was something along the lines of, you know, she thought I was my homie, buckled down. She turned around, I pulled my buckle down. Oh, come on now. It broke the soundboard.
We the best music.
Sorry, sometimes it takes a little second to catch up right there. I mean, I'd go a 6 for that one. It's perfectly fine. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Honky tonk music without the tonk, just pure honky. We love it. You know that Forgiato Blow actually worked with Kodak Black? I think that's been mentioned here before, right? It's kind of wild. Why is he working with actual... I mean, you know, not that Kodak has the cleanest record per se, but why is he working with actual established rappers? Yeah, it was on a Vanilla Ice track. I remember we were talking about this a little bit. Vanilla Ice as well. Hasn't he had a bit of controversy in the past, like, week or so? Let's see. Mr. Van Winkle. Vanilla Ice is last confirmed act as Trump's Great American State Fair lineup crumples. What in the Homelander? Jesus. Vanilla Ice defends performing at Trump's Freedom 250 concert. And the quote is, "I don't even vote." Yeah, that'll help your case, my man. Sure, why not? That's the thing, Mr. TV. Nobody raps like I Am Jace. This I can agree with. Complimentary, right, Movie Madman? Let's just clarify there first. Speaking of Tom McDonald, someone in 2021 made a parody of an award show where one of the categories was the worst rapper of 2021. Nominees were Joyner Lucas and Tom McDonald, and he chose Joyner Lucas. Oh my god. Come on, Joyner's not... He's not Tom McDonald. He might not be everybody's cup of tea. And he's made some pretty weak music. But he's not Tom McDonald. Let's give him some credit right there. So, with that being said, thank you for sending that one in. Ocean Spirit Blue, Will Anderson Edwards. Let's see what we get on our only other song request for the day. This one comes in from Faded Love. I'm going to throw this little chestnut out there. Maybe, if we get to the end of the queue, and there's still a little bit of time, might reopen it. It's never happened before, I don't think, but we'll see where we're at when it's done. I just don't know how long exactly, along with my waffle time, it'll take me to, react to a 3-hour-long Scrim album, and then also a little Racer Ghost album request after that. But we'll see. We'll see where we're at when we get there later. Unlikely, though. We shall see how it goes. He read Joyner's lyrics on Duck Duck Goose and called it trash too. I don't even remember that song. I don't remember that off the top of my head. Actually, it did happen once, like 2 months ago. Okay, there we go. There's a precedent that the queue can be reopened at the end of the stream, but we'll see what time it is when we get there. So the next one comes in from Faded Love with this OG classic video link right here. Gang. It was fun to record that one. What a blast. So that reminds me, actually, before we get into the track right here, I still follow 6ix9ine on Instagram for some reason. I just haven't hit that unfollow button. I think I followed a bunch of like the SoundCloud rappers around like 2019 or whatever, or before that, even 2018. So I follow like Lil Pump on there as well. 6ix9ine's whole new thing is that he's marketing a bunch of like sex products under his brand Sex9. That's what he's doing right now. Like honey packets and stuff like that. Little performance boosters. Just thought you guys would like to know. Thought I'd share that with you. So, we have a request here from Faded Love, and Faded Love is saying, new song of mine. DistroKid ain't put it up yet, so here's an untitled link. Also, it's my shortest song. Oh, this must be a very brief one. I wrote a fire second verse, but I'm sick as shit and can't record it, but I still wanted it out, lol. Hey, fair enough, man. Sometimes you just gotta drop the heat no matter what. I have to sign in to accept this. Do I have I must have an untitled account. I guess I could sign in with phone. Okay, I don't have it with my phone number. Shit. How do I log in here? I can't remember if it's what email I used. Give me a brief moment here. Okay, that's my username. Wait, I did use my phone number? Okay. Hey, thank you for that one, Will Anderson Edwards. I'll check that in a second right here. I guess I can try and sign in with my phone then. Hold on. Troubleshooting right here. Go on, send me that verification code. Now we wait. Did I put it in right? I did. I guess we're just waiting. But yeah, that's what 6ix9ine's up to right now. So there we go. Just thought you'd like to know that. I still follow because he'd be posting funny shit every now and then. That's fair. Hey, how's it going, Joseph Berger? Holy crap, how is the queue closed? Well, we have like 2 album requests in the queue today, but one of them is extremely beefy. Like, triple stacked beefy. Very huge. So, it's going to be a lengthy one. Going from 6'9" to 6'9" is brilliant. Your fave could never. Yeah. It's true. Who else would do that? For some reason, I'm not getting the verification code, so did I not sign into Untitled with my phone number? Bro, moment. Bro, can I not just sign in with my username? Why is Untitled not making this easier for me? Did I use this email? Perhaps. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, choose a username. I'm just gonna mash some keys because I'm not... Oh, the first word. Oh, shit. I'm not lying to you guys. I randomly mashed my keyboard here. It turned out quite unfortunate. Let me just show you that. Yeah. First 3 letters could have went a little better. I literally just hammered my keyboard. I apologize. All right, don't cancel me, please. Please, I'm begging you. I literally just hammered my keyboard. We're going to skip a profile picture. I'm creating a new account specifically to listen to this Faded Love track right here. And that's it. Okay, I've accepted the invite. We've accessed the track. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Success. Well, not the only time you're going to see that word today. What is Scrim saying? What is Scrim saying on this album, bro? You're lucky that it's not quite Pride Month yet, Mr. TV. I just avoided the cancellation. Okay, I can breathe. I can breathe. It's okay in every other month. So, let's see what we're going to get here on Faded Loves, Making It Back, Final Mix. I'll put some song name text up on the screen right here. Man, I was worried that my career was over right there. Scary moment. Okay, so Faded Love. Making it back. There we go. And now we're ready. Writing a Google Doc right now. I can't believe you would do this. How long is the Google Doc going to be? All right, there's only one thing, really, I think, that I can be exposed for here, if you will. Bro, I just got the notification with that username. I'm dying. Oh, no. I promise I will mash my keys more carefully next time. Severe, continuous lapse of my judgment, etc., etc. Now let's see what Faded Love has got going on with this banger. Very short, about 1:30.
I'm making it back. All of my money, I'm making it back. I'm counting a stack. Hold me a couple, I'm counting a stack. Calling me up every day. Now she do not love me, but she love my cash. Got a new whip and I swerve. Driving around and I'm moving so fast. All of that money, I got it. I ran it up like I'm Sonic. Couple of thousand on weed, I be smoking the gas, I be getting exotic. Fucking her once.
I was expecting chronic, but we got exotic there. Unexpected.
We kill. Find his daddy and we be plotting. What is the price? I do not know. They do not matter, I still finna cop it. I just dropped a new song, they tell me I be the greatest, yeah, I'm the GOAT. Them boys, they was sleeping on me. Prove them wrong like I'm Naruto. I be geeking off the lean and my bitch, she be off the coke. How you talking when you make none? You talk about me, boy, you be broke. All of this ice got me so cold. Every song I make it go. I'm making it back. All of my money, I'm making it back. I'm counting a stack. Hold me a couple, I'm counting a stack. Calling me up every day. Now she do not love me, but she love my cash. Got a new whip.
Hey, hope the exam went well there, MC Encore. I think the delivery on this one is solid. Yeah, I feel like on the past couple tracks you've sent in Faded Love, the delivery has been slightly different to like most of the other tracks I've heard from you, where like it's a slightly more like higher pitched delivery. I feel like these bring it like slightly lower, and I actually think it works pretty nicely, you know? slightly toned down, but still effective over these kind of beats. I think the flow fit into that production very nicely. Very short one, as you were saying, but I think it goes together pretty solidly. I didn't mind that one at all. I got a nice solid 6 with that as well. Enjoyable track.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought the delivery here was good. Beat was fun. Bars were entertaining as well. Listen, Run It Up Like I'm Sonic, you know, might be a bit of a standard sort of go-to bit of wordplay cloak. I'm not mad at it here, though. I'm not mad at it. I think that the more lower deliveries sound a lot better, honestly. What I think as well is I think they generally work better with a lot of the beats that you select as well. I think some of the higher ones, they're not, I don't know if I'd say they're off key, but they just sound like it can be harder to make those work with certain kinds of production. Whereas something like this, I feel like it sounds almost a little bit more natural and, you know, keeps things switching up a little bit as well. So good stuff, man. Is there anything you think I could improve on? I do think with this one, it maybe would have benefited from a second verse. I know you couldn't record it at the moment, but I do think that would help to make the track maybe feel a little bit more significant, if that makes sense. Because the way it is, I think it's, you know, relatively fun, and you could argue that the short length does add, you know, a bit of replayability to it. But I also think you could get a little bit more significance out of the track with just a little bit of extra length on there that makes it feel like something that, you know, kind of stands out on its own a bit more. But other than that, I think it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. So thank you for sending that one in there, Faded Love. Technically, Mr. TV, you're on trial for 2 things after the Pokemon card incident. Listen, it wasn't me. There's 2 other people that look exactly like me that I can blame this on, all right? It was either the G himself, okay? Or it was I Am Jace. It could have been one of them. Doesn't necessarily have to be me. Yeah. Hey, no problem. All Faded Love. I really appreciate you sending your tracks in, man, and I'm glad it can help in some way as well. So, hey, just keep it up. Keep making stuff, and yeah, I enjoyed what you sent in today, so thank you very much for that one, man. So I'll check your tip message right now, Ocean Spirit Blue, before we move into the next one, which is going to be the huge, massive, engorged album request coming in from Scarecrow. So, Will Anderson Edwards, Ocean Spirit Blue, is saying, I've managed to get stems for the beat for the track I Want You On. I want Mr. I Am Jace Extraordinaire to be on. I use Instagram more than anything else. Can I send you it there? Yeah, absolutely. That's where I coordinated with Mr. Seidara for that collaborative track, or my triplet I Am Jace did. So yeah, I'd definitely be happy to give that a little look over, see what's going on there. True, but if we blame it on you and bring up comments from your older videos, we have a bigger chance of canceling you. No! There are no comments from my older videos that can be put in this Google Doc. I don't know what's being said right here. Slander is being spread on my name right now, and I do not appreciate it. So, let's see where we go from there. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our first album request of the day, and it's a hefty one. This is coming in. This is going to be the bulk of the stream today. This one comes in from Scarecrow. Let's get it loaded up right here. This is going to be the bulk of... Okay, we got the stream for the link, and Scarecrow is saying, grab your water, take a fat piss, and buckle up. It's Scrimmy album time. And dare I say, he somehow made a 59-track album work. It's a lot to digest with only one listen, but there's a ton of variety with his best quality lyrics ever. Thankfully, as you get to the halfway point, he ramps up the amount of hype tracks to wake you up and keep you interested. I have no overall rating as of now because I still need to re-listen to every track a few times, but damn, the highlights are insane and often. Also, another random F slur, but this one is way less bad sounding as it seems to be directed towards his gay homie, so I guess he doesn't mind. I mean, yeah, maybe he gave him the pass right there. So there we go. We are going to get the newest Scrim album right here. And that is going to be a big one. We're going to take this off the screen right here just to clean up the interface a little bit. And it'll pop up on a Spotify widget. I sent you a screenshot on Discord of my top 20 tracks off the first 3 listens. Do you want me to look at that just now, Scarecrow, or should we do it after the album? I'd be happy to do either right here. So, this is going to be a hefty one. I think it's going to be very hard for anybody to make a 59 song long project work. But I do think from what we heard of Scrim's Via Crucius, he can at least be very consistent with a lengthy project. Now, that one was 30 songs. This is pretty much double that length. 59 songs, about 3 hours. It's fighting an uphill battle to make it fully engaging and entertaining for that length of time. But we shall see if it's able to pull it off. Would be funny if this turned out to be a torture request. Oof. That would be a hefty one right there. I was thinking you keep up so you don't have to tell you every time a favorite comes up. Yeah, that's true. I could just keep it open on my phone here on Discord. Let's go. There we go. All right, nice. So I'll also get up a notes page to keep track of my favorites or least favorites that might come up here. Hold on. Scrim, runaway, notes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Right here, we have Runaway by Scrim. 59 songs. About 3 hours is what Spotify says. You know it's a long-ass album when they estimate the runtime. It's about 3 hours. Thank you very much for sending this one in today, Scarecrow. This is a huge request. I imagine Scrim's streaming bag from this. He has a dedicated fan base, right? This is 59 tracks. He's about to cash in big time with this one. You have to respect the grind and the hustle. But hopefully they are 59 songs that feel worthwhile, at least for a project, that feel like they have enough significance and stand out enough on their own to be on here. So there must be a good handful of tracks we've heard on this project, right? I'm just scrolling through the track list, man. We have songs like Skirt Cobain, like Skirt, and Wojak. So this should be a pretty interesting one, I reckon. I think we've heard Cortisol, right? Probably the ones that are labeled as having music videos, because those would be singles. Scrim said he wanted this to be 100 tracks. Wait, so you're telling me this is the version of the album with restraint? That's crazy. That's true, Movie Man. There you go. There you go. I imagine, yeah, if he's saying it sort of like directed towards his friend within the song as well, then it's maybe the most acceptable way. I would imagine that you could say that on a track, you know? It's better than saying it in a sort of like, you know, attacking way towards someone or anything like that. He narrowed it down from 300 to 100 and didn't want to remove anymore, but he cut it down even further to 59, even though he didn't want to. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it works with the label, right? You got Grey 59, 59 tracks. At least you could say there's some sort of thematic reasoning for it right there. So let's see what we're going to get on what is basically a Scrim triple album. We're starting Runaway with track number 1. A nightmare worth pursuing, and it's starting off with like a 5-minute track, so we'll see what we're going to be in for right here with this one. Thank you once again for this, Scarecrow. Huge one today. Let's see what we're going to get. Oh, smash. I'm going to try not to do that with all 59 tracks today. It's a good tag.
I've been going through some changes. Searching, looking for the truth. Gotta be God working through me. I'm doing shit I couldn't do. Saying shit I couldn't say. Money, come give it away. Know we all headed to the grave. I'm just trying to go a different way. Think
okay.
Mama pop, one too many, can't understand when she texted. Break my heart when I read the comments. Some fans thinking I left them, but they don't know. Even as I glow, I'm still fighting depression. I was told either grow or die. Now trying to live my obsession.
Starting off with a steady piano bass one.
Insecure, can't stand to hear my own voice unless I tune it up. At this point, be quicker than name who ain't suing us. They bad days, my bad days. You got the nerve to tell me, boy, loosen up. Fuck. Every song made out of self-doubt. More confused than I'm on the stage. People listen like I got it figured out. Feeling homeless with the biggest house. Spit the pain poets written about. Getting money that I dreamt about. Love come with interest, they just lend us now. Damn. Advice coming.
Some solid personal bars on this.
Damn. Lord, I'm praying that you give me strength. I'm not worthy to come through the gates. Take for granted every breath I take.
Here's the drums.
Lord, I pray you give me peace of mind. But right now I'm on demon time. Lord, I pray you
Ad-lib sound a bit yeety on this one.
but right now I'm on demon time. Chopper on me, body's dropping.
Damn, he immediately just flipped over to the dark side on this one. Hey, it's not a bad opener at all, though. Assuming that's a boxing bar right there. You know, still never seen Interstellar. Need to watch that one day. Interested, okay. Hey, how's it going, Kid Northway? Doing good, man. How about you? Wasn't expecting this one to go fully for the like more darker, demonic sound after the more like vulnerable, heartfelt intro. Should put this one in the title, actually. Hold on. Woo.
You know, I remember digging like a hole in my backyard. I was gonna go to China, you know? I was gonna run away to China. I was digging this hole. I think I gave up like 8 feet down. Put some cardboard on top. It made a cool fort, but then I remember like getting my first Huffy bike. I had this neon green Huffy bike. And I remember like being like maybe 11 and maybe even younger than that, and just taking off. You know, just
all right, setting up
taking
that
off.
runaway theme right at the beginning right here
There used
on
to
the
be this
outro.
laundromat down the street. It was far, and I used to just take off. And I remember being like 10, 11, and being on my bike. I felt like I could go anywhere, you know. Didn't matter what was going on. I could just fucking take off. And then I remember climbing rooftops and like jumping on other people's roofs and stuff like that, you know.
Okay. A Nightmare Worth Pursuing, I think, is a pretty solid intro to the album. Sets up the whole runaway theme at the end of the song as well. Now, I'm curious. It's going to be hard to make a... You know, if that was part of like a 10, 15 track album, I'd be like, okay, he's going to carry this sort of like runaway theme throughout the entire thing pretty consistently. Whereas I feel like with the 59 track project, it'll bleed its way throughout the lyrics of the entire thing. But I don't know if the concept will be sort of, you know, weaved into every single track necessarily, but I do think it was nice to kind of begin it in that way and really set up the album of, you know, painting this picture of someone who just really wanted to run away from everything when he was younger and escape whatever it was he was going through. And that kind of, you know, sets up a theme, sets up a characterization for this album. In terms of the sound of this one, I really liked how it opened up in the beginning with the softer piano-based sound, and Scrim really going pretty in-depth with personal bars, insecurities, and the pain that he's going through. He even mentioned at the moment, you know, I think he said something along the lines, trying to find the bar here, but it was something along the lines of, it's faster to list the people who aren't suing us because they've had a lot of like legal troubles lately, samples being sued because of that and whatnot. So I thought that was a really good opening. And then it switched up. I did prefer the sound of the beginning where it was the more emotional piano-based sound, but I do think that the song appropriately set up a switch into a heavier, darker sound with the way that verse ended, where he said, what was it? The evil coming, the more you talk about God. Damn, Lord, I'm praying that you give me strength. I'm not worthy to come through the gates. Take for granted every breath I take. And then, you know, switch to him talking about being in demon time. So it did make sense the way that it happened. And I still think it was solid in that second part. I'll go a 7 right now for this one. I did prefer the first part, but I think the switch was justified within the writing of the track. And it still went hard. Let me see if that was one of Scarecrow's favorites. I don't believe so. I'm assuming these are in order of the track list there. Interesting. Massacre saying, I liked the beginning and was waiting for a nice beat drop, but that's not it. How do we go from that angelic start to grunting Adam Sandler bars? Yeah, I can kind of see that as well. Yeah, it is something that maybe held the track back a little bit for me, but I hope we do get a little sort of deeper throughout there. Oh, okay, so that's not your list in order. Interesting. Okay. It doesn't look like this one is on there, though. Okay, no worries. So, let's see where we go from there into the next one. Track number 2 is called Claymore. Let's go. Of course, we have plenty of Scrim production throughout this. I'm assuming he produced on every single track with co-producers all throughout it as well.
And then, I remember climbing rooftops.
Apparently, Alex Oso and Sambo
jumping on
Backrack
other people's
on the next
roofs
one.
and stuff like that, you know?
You did good, say.
See, I didn't do it that time. I'm not doing it for every song.
I've been feeling dead, I've been feeling empty.
Okay.
Even though my cup runneth over and my cup is plenty. Oh, outside saying dragon till I come back home and say more. Arms stretched out across the combat zone while I step on every claymore.
I was low-key hoping for a Drew reference, Shaded, but unfortunately it seems more like the Boom Boom Claymore.
They always worry how I'm feeling, but nobody really care about how I'm feeling. Get yourself together, young man. You got people that you gotta please. Everything you feeling better shove it deep down.
Ad-libs are cool.
What you need.
Ooh. I like how that's kind of a different style of drums. Usually, Scrim's drums are a bit heavier, but these are kind of softer, smoother drums. I think it works for the kind of song that this is.
I've been feeling dead, I've been feeling empty.
Man, I like that little, I don't know if it's ad-libs or a sample for like the background vocals, but I think it really adds a nice dynamic to the track.
Outside saying dragon till I come back home and say more. Arms stretched out across the combat zone while I step on every claymore. Never seen no winner look so defeated. Never seen such a dead body breathing.
Different guitars on this are sick.
But nobody really care about how I'm feeling. Get yourself together,
That little bit, the
you got people that you gotta please.
ad-libs there, is the sample.
Feeling better, shove it deep down. They don't give a fuck what you need.
Okay, the ad-libs are sampled. They sound sick. I think they really add a lot to the track.
Hey son.
Okay.
It's me. I'm just
So we have another sort of
got you
talking
on my
section
mind.
or voicemail section at
After
the end of the
seeing
song
you
here.
yesterday, I wanted to ask you how you doing, really. I want to seriously know how you're doing because you look stressed out. Kind of worries me. You know,
It's a
I'd
good
like to know
song.
what's going on with you. You know, why you know, looking so stressed out lately. The last time I seen you when you came to the house to visit, you looked stressed out too. You know, I know before, you know, you're always busy and stuff when I came and seen you, but really, I don't know, man. It just, you look like something's taking toll on you. I hope it's not everything that's going on with us and, you know, everybody else. I really don't want to do that to you. If I can do anything to take some stress off of you, man, please let me know. You know, I got my own stress to deal with, but I don't give a fuck. I'm used to dealing with mounds of fucking stress. You know, I can fucking handle more stress than I ever thought I could in my life, but I don't break too easily. You got my genes in you, man. You know, but don't push it, you know, because it'll take toll on you when you get older, man. I just, I do miss you a lot, man. I really do. I want to spend time with you.
So that was from his dad at the end there. I would assume from him calling him son and saying he's got his genes. I thought this song was actually really nice. I enjoyed that one. Stick to distorted boom boom tracks, bro. This ain't it. I enjoyed this one, Jaded. I thought it was a pretty smooth sound that we got right here. A pretty smooth track. I like the more melodic focus of this one. And I think Scrim occupies this interesting space where I feel like the sort of like wider hip hop audience doesn't necessarily talk about him all that much, but I think he has this really nice niche and lane carved out where he does have an audience that would be willing to listen to a 59 track long project and give each one, you know, its own chance. And I think the thing is, with this many tracks, I feel like it could be so easy to kind of cheap out on the production, make it super loose and carefree, and not put that much effort into the mixing, to the writing, anything really, and just fire out 59 tracks. But I think what surprises me about these Scrim albums is that the songs do feel like they have at least a decent amount of effort to them, which I think is impressive when there's so many tracks on it. Like, I like the production here. I like the melodies from Scrim, and I think this one was very smooth. I think the drums worked here, being a little bit softer compared to the usual more aggressive, heavy style of drums that he has, and I don't know, I just like the way his voice sounded here. I think the mixing, of course, is very good as well. I think the mixing is what helps make these tracks work a lot and makes it feel like Scrim has a presence on there and just adds that little stamp of quality to the tracks that, to me, makes them not feel particularly rushed. So I'm going to give that one a stronger 7. I like that more than the intro as well. Like, I quite like that one. Queue closed is a war crime. We did get a fast queue close today, but as I always say, on the bright side, we get, on average, 2 of these streams per week. Some weeks there will just be 1, but there will be plenty all throughout the month, so we'll be going crazy in June as well. Hey, no problem at all, Wallace. Welcome to the Twitch side of things here. Garner Lucas also had some one-sided beef with MGK and was tweeting about it, but he later deleted those tweets and claimed that Russian hackers were hacking his account. It's a great excuse to use. If you tweet anything you regret, or something that makes you look a little goofy, it was hackers, bro. They took over my account. It wasn't me. Go Shaggy mode on them. How long is the queue closed? Might be for the rest of the stream, Kid Northway. I'm not too sure. It depends what time it is by the time we get to the end of the queue, but we'll be going through these requests that are in the queue for a bit for sure. Oh yeah, it's all high quality. Scrim records like every day of the year. He said it helps him get away from life. It's his happy place. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And also, man, it's a demanding opening in a sense. You know, 5-minute track, 4-minute track. Both of them have sort of semi-lengthy talking sections at the end. So yeah, he's definitely asking a lot, but like I said, he occupies a particular niche where I feel like his fan base will be perfectly happy to listen to all of this and enjoy it. It very much seems like he kind of is just making music for his fans, and that's about it. It doesn't necessarily need to have this wider branching appeal, and he's doing really well with that. So let's see where we go on track number 3. Is this really it? It's gonna be interesting. I don't know like when I'm gonna write down my favorites necessarily, because there's so many songs on here. Might be a stacked favorites list.
You did good, say. It's us, man. Yeah, thinking back to my first memory, and I feel the pain. They talk and smile about my life, but I don't feel the same.
Sorry,
no. Yeah.
Okay. How's it going, Killjoy? Welcome, welcome, man.
Yeah. I don't think this hurt gonna ever go away. Don't know if it's worth trying to go another day. Oh. I don't waste time with the little shit. Hope these pills get me right for a little bit. I don't waste time with the little shit. Is it life at the death or is this really it? I be arguing with God, dog, I'm out of prayers. Bet it be the day I die when they start to care. No, my dad was trying to spend even when he wasn't.
Okay, and then mention his dad in the lyrics here.
Okay, I understand. Shit, I ain't even mad. And now I'm seasoned on this Xanax, thinking about my dad. Don't get confused and think they love me, they love what I had. I hate that fake shit like they don't know what's in the bag. Yeah. Nowadays my type of woman tight that ain't gon' run me half. Most days I'm nervous about the future, living in the past. 37, hope this heaven cause it's moving fast.
Damn.
Looking at my family, want to cry, no one day they gon' pass. Yeah. Yeah. Try give up holding on to things I know they ain't gon' last. They can fathom all this pressure that I'm dealing with. Just bought that bitch a car, that ain't affectionate. I buy that bitch some more, that ain't affecting it. Hard love sick, I'm the one infecting it. She crying, show me who you are, why you protecting it. But what she want is dead, there ain't no resurrecting it. Damn. Yeah. You know these scars ain't go where they sell for. Yeah.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Look like it's about time I go. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice drums right there. Very existential themes to this one. Damn. Oh yeah, Killjoy. Yeah, it's a lengthy boy, this one. 59 songs on this bad boy. A demanding listen, for sure, but I think the 3 songs we've got have been solid so far. Is this really it? Kind of tied a little bit into the end of Claymore right there. Actually, a decent amount during the verse in particular where Scrim was talking about, well, his dad, you know, said, no, my dad was trying his best even when he wasn't there. Got my first high. I'm like, okay, I understand. Shit, I ain't even mad. So I would assume his dad struggled with addiction as well. That's kind of what I'm getting from those bars, and like now that Scrim has been through that himself, he kind of gets it a bit more. And then a lot of existential themes to this, you know, talking about Scrim himself being 37 and, you know, his life moving pretty fast, worrying about the members of his family that will pass eventually as well. So yeah, pretty deep one in terms of its writing. I think the sound was good once again, and still a solid bit of variety in the drums, where they have some presence, but feel a little different to the, you know, typically what you would get on a sort of harder Scrim track, which we're going to get bangers on here. I know we are. There's 59 songs. There is going to be some Scrim bangers on there. But I'm kind of liking this more steady, reflective, and personal opening that we're getting to the project. This one, I think I'm also going 7. Like, we got a consistent sound so far. Hell yeah. this one. Song, in my opinion, was probably the best one because the beat is like chill as fuck. It was a nice beat right there. Pretty smooth stuff right there. From Bud Dwyer, Dinox, and Lucid 1K. Those were the producers on that. Lovely stuff. Killjoy saying I was doing pretty good, enjoying some Outlast trials. Then I watched The Boys, and now I'm... where are you in it, Killjoy? Have you caught up like fully all the way to the end? I'm curious. I believe he talked on IG Live about how his parents are going through rehab right now. Okay, don't quote me, but I think that's it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So, let's see where we go from there on to track number 4. This one is called Fort Wayne. Let's go. 2 minutes 41. There it is. Yep. Bit more of a banger. It's an interesting time we're living in where you make a hard-ass sounding track like this and you're talking about puffing on pink vapes. That's what's up, man. Okay. A grimy ass beat. Not a bad one. North side. Oh, I wasn't there. Messed up on the ad libs. You misheard the title there as Fort Wayne, Kid Northway. Yeah, that would be a very unserious title for this track. That one was solid. Fort Wayne was a pretty cool track. You know what I like about the first 3 that we got in here? Not that you don't necessarily get your try to find the right way to word it. Not that you don't necessarily get some more emotional and deeper Suicide Boys tracks, but I feel like on Scrim's solo music, you do hear more experimentation and him trying out more different things. So a banger like Fort Wayne, I think, is solid, but doesn't stick with me as much because I feel like, oh yeah, you could throw Ruby on this and it would just be kind of like your more standard Suicide Boys kind of banger. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I think it still hits a decent amount, but what I'm liking more about the Scrim solo music is seeing him do stuff that you might not hear as much when he's making music along with Ruby. Again, you do get some different styles of tracks with them, but there's a lot of stuff that Scrim has tried on his own, or just specific sounds that he goes for that you don't really hear on the duo stuff as much. This felt a little bit more like what you could hear on an SB track, so I'm going to give that one a solid 6. It's not bad, but a nice little banger. With a grimy beat right there.
Nice.
Northside. You just finished episode 3 just a few minutes ago, Killjoy. Yeah, the dialogue in that season gets very, well, it's kind of like flanderized, if you will, a little bit. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you think by the end of it. Northside. Hold on, Movie Man saying, just did some estimating using the first 3 tracks as a base. The combined length of the first 3 tracks is a little over 11 minutes. Your reaction to them ran 21 minutes long. Damn, I really spent nearly double the amount of time talking. Considering that this is a 3-hour, 8-minute album and that we have another album in the queue, it's safe to say that the queue is probably staying closed. Yeah, that's actually some good mathematical extrapolation right there. I need to be more concise with my thoughts on a project like this. So yeah, I think Fort Wayne was a solid banger. Wouldn't be a favorite for me though, and I definitely preferred the opening a little bit. I actually might write down Claymore as a bit of a little, you know, possible preliminary favorite on here. Just scanning to see if any of these have been. Fort Wayne was on Scarecrow's favorite list, so fair enough. Yeah, I'm enjoying the ones that, you know, do something a little bit more melodic and personal so far. So let's see what we got on track number 5. Deus Vult. Let's go. I like to yap. What could I say? Man, I had to do it. It's got a really nice beat.
I just talk my shit, make that 808 hit, fuck around, go and drop for the 3P. Shit, at this point, it's motherfucker go. I'm a whole different motherfucking species. I done missed whole years.
That was clean.
Shoulda gotta go metal for holding back tears. Now it appear, every op was a peer. We talk crash out, bitch.
Man, the strings, the flow, that's it.
Everybody I trust 6 feet down here, motherfuckers I touch like no one near. Name one motherfucker that I don't clear. Stress to the max, if I got what I deserve, I'll be dead. I was mixing up pills and rolling up bills. 2018 turned to a speedhead. Cartier's on for my fucked up vision, but turned 2020 my C-ring. I done earned my stripes 2-3 like my. I'm the type motherfucker that need meds. You start my day with a blunt. Now start my day with a blunt.
How's it going, Kenzie? Yo, what's up, man?
Like, damn, I wish you was here. You start my day with a beer. I still start off with a pimp. Try to argue with the dot, but he said, look, Scott, you fucked and you mentally ill. So I let go and let God. Let go and let God.
Little change in the context there. Used to start my day with a pill. Now I still start it off with a pill. Try to argue with the doc, but he said, look, Scott, you're fucked and you're mentally ill. Which, I don't know if your doctor should be that blunt, but fair. Honesty is the best policy. Great sample in there as well. Do we know what that is? It's not listed on Genius yet. I wonder if who sampled has the deets though.
And I don't think it's unique to me or you. You know, you look at Huck Finn and all these stories of, you know, Huck Finn heading down to Mississippi, or like, you know, Powell goes to he follows the Colorado into the Grand Canyon. There's all this great history of the runaways that kind of built the country. These people just
more of the
off,
Runaways
these
theme
explorers
still in
just
here.
take off. And I'm thinking about you talking about you going in the studio, and it's kind of like Powell or Huck Finn or something. You go in there and you just fucking go ride the river and you come up with this shit.
Oh wait, hold on! I just saw this from the Genius annotation. Apparently, the outro for Deus Vult, along with several other outros on the album Runaway, are spoken word monologues by Shia LaBeouf. Really? I thought that was Scrim. My bad.
And I do the same kind of thing. And
that's what Genius is saying, at least.
Yeah. You ever been to the Snake River? It's fucking amazing. My dad took me to Snake River. I think I was really young one time. We were like camping on the Snake River. And my dad was a runaway too. And he used to run away and take me with him. I remember one time we were in a camp, like in a tent. and I was sleeping. I was young at this point, you know. And he's fresh out of prison, and we're like on our first big runaway trip together. And remember, I was sleeping. He woke me up in the middle of the night. I was dead asleep. He woke me up, and he was like, "Shh, son, don't make any noises. There's a
True
bear
movie,
outside."
man.
And I thought, the fuck? Could have just let me sleep, motherfucker, you know?
All right, then. Interesting. I did not know that was Mr. Shia LaBeouf there. So there's vote. I really like the song there. I thought that was a nice style of banger. Really nice strings on the production right there. Drums were smacking around that, and Scrim's flow fit very tightly within the drums right there. I thought that made for a really enjoyable track. Good bars on it as well. I'm gonna go with 7 on that one also. Boom. Scrim's voice is way more raspy. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was him at first, but that's interesting. Having somebody else kind of handle the talking sections right here, but at least it does continue the runaway theme with a little bit of the spoken monologues. Now, in terms of like revisiting the album or listening to these songs individually, I imagine most people are skipping before you get to the end of the songs right there with those talking segments, which might be a little bit annoying in terms of like replaying the tracks, but it's not a big issue, you know? It's not a major thing to skip right there. Let's see if that one is on Scarecrow's favorites. Ooh, I don't think so. I really enjoyed that one, though. Thought it made for a solid banger with really good production. Not mad at that at all. Reminds me a little bit of Travis getting T.I. to narrate Rodeo. That's true. You can't always get somebody else to handle it and tie things together there. Oh, nice. Small Cafe by Leon. Where is the string sample? Only clocked it because Lil Ugly Mane sampled it for Throw Them Guns. That's pretty cool. Okay, appreciate the info on that one, Junior Tube. Hell yeah. I thought it was a really nice sample in there. Yeah, sounded really cool. Who sampled is the chief snitch of sample credits. I'm of two minds about it because like it can be helpful and like fun to look through the samples, but at the same time, there's a little bit of the snitchy right there. I see JPEG Mafia's had a little bit of a sample controversy lately that led to one of his tracks being removed from the album before I've even checked it out, so I guess I'll never hear that one. But interesting situation going on there. So let's see what we get on track number 6, Broken Boy. Solid project so far, but we're not even through what, you know, if you consider it a bit like a triple disc, we're not even halfway through the first.
Motherfucker, you know?
You did good, say. It's
Bringing in the guitars once again. Wonder what the copyright warnings will be like for this one. I didn't think about that. We haven't got one yet, though.
Like I'm trying to see how high I go. Tomorrow I might grab a gun in front of me, but just for today I won't. Tell me lies, give me hope, burn my eyes, bless my ghost, way beyond reproach. Finish trauma, what I'm made of. So much shake and feel the graveyard. Get how to live, that's a trade-off. And a child
Yeah, that was a 7 again there, Scarecrow.
Mama, don't check the radar, cause your baby's falling down.
Ooh. Okay, a bit more rock drum, Scrim. Some futuristic swag, Scrim. Listen, Cloak, there's many opportunities for it to be tested out here. Maybe we'll get it. You never know.
I think it's been some time. Since I can see that I'm fine. Yeah. She said the way you get high, it's a sight to see. Yeah. Stained glass heart, empty church inside of me. Every hug feeling like a coffin. Holy water rusts my veins. It's hard as hell at the place we gone, cause heaven got a toll I can't pay. And as the blood falls falls from my wrist.
Itchy, man. Ooh.
Just know I feel more than I admit. Yeah. And as the blood falls from my wrist, yeah. It's 3 words I'ma leave you with. Yeah. Ain't no time to go when you go fast. Only hope I know is hope this pill gon' last. All I've done is pay like I wrote a pass. Just another day through the looking glass.
We do get some Nola Bounce and Rage Scrim on here. That's something. There you go.
I've been taking pills like I'm trying to see how high I go. Tomorrow I might grab a gun in front of me, but just for today I won't. Tell me lies, give me hope, burn my eyes, bless my ghost, way beyond reproach. Finish trauma, what I'm made of. Yeah. So much they can feel the graveyard. Yeah. Get how to live, that's a trade-off. And a child missing like it went straight off. Mama, don't check the radar, cause your baby's falling down.
Here we go. I do love the drums on this one a lot. And again, a little bit of variety here with some other genre influences.
I think it's been some time. Since I can say that I'm fine.
Yeah, you make me worry about you when I hear you say that. But love you, man.
Interested, okay. Broken Boy, I think. Another pretty solid one. My thing with these, like, again, with these longer Scrim albums, I do feel like you really can make your own playlist out of these, because every track is at least, like, so far, baseline solid. I still feel like a good amount of work has went into each of these songs, and, you know, they're pulling from a few different genre or subgenre influences. This one had more of those rock-style drums on there, and I thought that was really cool. I think that had a great sound to it. How they came in just at the end of the chorus really made that section of the track pop, and made for another one that I thought was nice. Like, what I will say is there's not been anything yet for me that's on like a 8, 9, 10 region, but I think for the majority of it, we've had, I mean, mostly 7s, 1 6. Not gonna say it in the other order. That's another 7 for me. Everything feels pretty solid so far. I think the thing is, like, everything is just good enough to be enjoyable up to this point in the project, so I'm definitely still having a good time with it, and curious to see where it's going to go as we continue throughout here. 7-6, that's the meme right. Hold on. New meme? Did we just invent it right here? Let's go. Movie Madman has set the next generation of number memes right here. You love to see it. That's what you tune into these streams for. Every Wednesday, roughly every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go, baby. So, track number 7 on here. Enough nonsense for me. Range, I don't show it. Well, that, from what I'm gathering here, is a little bit of a lie. We are getting some range here in terms of the genres the album is pulling from. So, Scrim is a liar. You heard it here first.
When I hear you say that.
Can't believe it, man.
You did good, son.
It's man.
I've been waiting for you all night. I've been getting faded all night. I go numb when the stars bright. Oh my, turn apart like a pot fight. Cut my heart with a sharp knife. I've been trying to get my heart right. Oh my, got me fucked up. I've been going through your iPhone. Why you in another time zone? Don't like what I found out. Is he a lover or your best friend? You reminiscing on what could have been. Oh my, got me hurting like it's my fault.
Interesting. So we got a bit of a different structure here. You know, drums aren't schmacking in straight away. Just scrimmy over the guitars right now.
I be feeling like a low life. Oh my, so many expectations. I just wanna be a favorite with no reservations. I need medication. Life changing got me fucked up. Trying not to pick the drugs up. Yeah, every time I trust some. Oh my, I don't show up but I'm fucked up. I don't show up but I'm fucked up. Think of my daddy and get fucked up.
Ah, that's it, movie Madman. He's hiding his Range Rover. It all makes sense now.
See my mama and get fucked up. Oh my. Oh, everything follow me. Everything follow me. I just want a day that I can breathe. I just want a day that I can breathe. Baby, will you please on me? Baby, just please on me.
Oh, and then the drums just kind of skipping in there.
I've been waiting for you all night. I've been getting faded all night.
Not the drum drop in I was expecting, but all right. I'm willing to write it out with that.
Cut my heart with a sharp knife. I've been trying to get my heart right. Oh my. Oh my, I'll show up when I'm fucked up. I'll show up when I'm fucked up.
Interesting, okay.
I'll show up when I'm fucked up. Oh my, I'll show up when I'm fucked up. I'll show up when I'm fucked up. I'll show up when I'm fucked up. Oh my.
Okay. Range was a pretty cool one. And another thing that I think is pretty cool here is that you can definitely point out similarities between the tracks so far, but I don't feel like any of them have necessarily been identical structurally. So I like the fact that this kind of flows together a little differently as well. This, for the most part, had no drums up until maybe the last minute or so, I want to say. And when the drums came in as well, they were a little different sounding to what I expected, but I think it worked well enough for this song. I'm going to give that one a 7 as well. All of these are solid songs, man. I think there are a lot of people that will be put off of this project. Again, outside of Scrim's fan base, because of the length of it. I think there's a lot of people that will see that and just be like, no, bro, there's no way that this is going to be worth my time or worth the listen. But I do think everything on here is solid enough. Like, not much of it necessarily feels super fillery to me at the moment. Mostly 7 so far. We are not doing too shabby. Hell yeah. So I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break before we continue. We are about an hour deep already. Damn. This album is going to take a little bit. So yeah, I'll be taking a very quick bathroom break, of course, to keep... The fuck is that? Okay, there we go. To keep the vibe a little bit, I am going to play some Scrim type beats while I'm away, which, as we've learned, Scrim type beats can be a variety of different things. I'm sure that most of the Scrim type beats are going to be more banger style. So enjoy. And I will see you guys when I get back. We'll continue with this project. Thank you very much for sending it in, Scarecrow.
Give it a couple more times.
Golf helmet is back in the function.
Give it a couple more times.
Goth Helma is back in the function.
You're insane. You're in pain. I can tell by what you're saying, but my bad. I forgot you were fragile. I forgot someone who doesn't even know me told you I'm an asshole. I forgot that I'm a villain. I forgot that I've always spread positivity, but you think I didn't. I forgot that hatred stems from people who hate their own existence. I forgot I'm better off alone. I forgot I care for everyone's happiness, but forget about my own. I forgot I spend every waking second on my phone.
Looky, the laugh ended on beat pretty much. I can't be too mad at that. It's Dax! So, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And we're continuing right here. Hell yeah. So, let's continue. Track number 8 is Bleak Midwinter. Scrim, you dropped this on May 29th, 2026. I'm not feeling wintry vibes right now. I look outside, it's bright, it's sunny, it's lovely. So, let's see what we're going to get on this one. Hell yeah. Oh. Are we going smoother on this one? We got the energy drink, by the way. Sour Pink Lemonade Ghost. Banger. Still not sponsored. It's a shame. I don't want to talk about it. Feels like a weirdly airy can.
And ain't not wrong for real. I'm trying my best to be a good man, even when they look bad. Release this if I die, written on journals in a book bag. So much I won't look at, so I get hard to look at. Catch me if you can, baby, I'm too far to look back. Just
hey.
keep running and running and running. Just keep running and running and running. Just keep running and running and running. I got things that I struggle accepting. Yeah. I know I love them, but struggle connecting. What the fuck is wrong with me? Ain't been no good son to my parents. Lost boy, I'm married. No time for them, got errands. Can't hide the flaws, too glaring. Yeah. Can't seem to figure this shit out. Empty rooms in a big house. Crowded room, see myself out. Yeah. In a shell, made a self-doubt. Full of feel, my chest out. Wife checking in, but I'm checked out.
I was going to ask that earlier on, actually. On the previous tracks, I was going to ask, he's married now, right? Because I feel like that was, you know, he's had songs about that. There was, like, the wedding music video and whatnot. Because I remember, like, previous tracks on the album, he was talking about, you know, my ho this, my ho that. And then, like, I was like, hold on, aren't you married, my guy? Surely that's not your wife you're talking about. Then again, also, not every track has to be about where he's at right now, necessarily. This could be a title track right here with all the runaway bars. Oh, there's some more like subtle strings on the beat on this one. Pretty nice little touch. He is hitting the yeet libs, yeah. It's like that little like alien voice. Run away. I can't. You need mixing to make it sound right, okay? Bleak Midwinter was a decent one. I like the sample at the beginning and the ending. I think with the lyrics on this one, the chorus was literally run away boy, run away, yeah. This could have been the title track. So I'm surprised that it didn't have that title. As a song, I think this one's cool. It's not one of my favorites, not one I absolutely love. Probably, once again, more around that 6 region. But again, all of it is like competently enough produced, competently enough delivered. Like, all of it is solid. I feel like I'm maybe I'll change my tune by the time we get to track 59, to be fair. But I feel like going into this, I am a little bit more forgiving about the track list length than I usually would be. Like, this is something that I would be happy to make my own personal playlist out of and just forget about everything else that maybe either is, you know, a little bit repetitive compared to other tracks on the album, or ones that just don't click for me as much personally. Again, my tune might change by the end of it, but because it's never an album I'm going to sit down and listen to from start to finish after this, probably, I'd just rather come back to my favorites, because 3 hours is a lot. Like, that's really a lot from anybody. But at the same time, you know, looking ahead, like, I'm not dreading this at all. I think everything is just solid enough at the bare minimum. So, hey, 6 for that one.
Nice.
Hey, how's it going, Nunez? He very well could have gotten her permission to refer to her as a hoe. That's my hope anyway. True. You know, different relationships, different people have different boundaries and for what they're okay or what they prefer to be referred to as, you know. I would never say that for my own, but some people are just different like that, you know, and don't have as much of an issue with that personally. So, hey, to each their own. Every relationship is different in its own way, as long as it's mutually agreed, you know. Opposite of what music was like for you? Oh god, yeah. 30 tracks of that? No es bueno. Even then, with music though, I could still make my own personal playlist out of that and enjoy that a bit more and shave down the track list quite a bit. So, next we have, what a title, track number 9. If life was fair, ducks would have shotguns. And that does sound pretty baller. I can't argue with that. Oh, little bridge from the previous track into this one with the pianos.
Before you hide your eyes, gotta watch this. Tell me, have you ever died in a mosh pit? Yeah. Guns in the air. Nah, I don't care. Cause life ain't fair. Yeah. Blunts in the prayer. Off drugs impaired. Oh yeah, let's take it there. Yeah.
That's fair, Scarecrow, yeah. I would never say it either. Don't feel right. But if that's if Scrim's cool with that and his wife is too, what could I say there, you know? That's crazy. No AI discourse with this album either. That is nice at the very least, you know. Humans made this entirely. I would assume at least. Okay, atmospheric auto-tune banger right here. Man. The contradiction of the pills right there. Take them just to feel something, but also take them to feel nothing. Man.
Your eyes, gotta watch this. Tell me, have you ever died in a
mosh pit? Woo. Hey, thank you once again, Baby Johns, for another generous super chat. Thank you so much. Hello, Kurtle, Dirtle, Turtle, Vertle. I keep missing the freaking Q. Have a great day. And drink water, chat. I'll drink to that. Thank you, Baby Johns. In all fairness, the queue was closed before the stream even fully started today. We got a beefy album in there.
Can't help it hit the climb. Ain't even close to human. I'm on shit they can't define. Ain't even close to human. I'm closer to divine. Don't know if I'm dead or high. Either way, I'll see a guy.
Pretty cool Travis Scott song so far. I definitely got quite a Travis-y vibe from this one. It's got the similar kind of almost like rodeo-esque atmosphere, crispy drums. Auto-tune is quite vibey to go along with that. Yeah, I think that was another one that was solid. I really liked the production on this one. I think we had some pianos in there. The drum beat was really solid once again. And I do like a good bit of auto-tune Scrim because, again, I think he's really solidly mixed. There's no audio engineer information on the Genius page, but I would assume that it's either Scrim doing his own mixing, or I've seen, I think, Sambo Backrack involved as his audio engineer before. So either way, I think it's got a really nice, pretty crisp sound to it. Back to 7 probably with that one. Yeah, I didn't know that's what CDTV meant. It's a little revelation right there. It does actually mean Curtle, Dirtle, Turtle, Vertle. It was a really creative thing for me to come up with. Music was a really great 10 to 15 track album that was expanded to be twice that because Carti didn't drop for 5 years. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it right there. And I understand that mindset from like a, you know, feeding the fan base point of view, but at the same time, any rapper that I'm a fan of, I would rather they just drop a quality body of work rather than giving me more songs because it's been so long. Like, I'm trying to think, who's an artist that, like, let's say, of course, my favorite rapper of all time, Marcus Hobson. Let's say if he was to drop another album, which would be his first in about 8 years, I would want it to be, like, probably more than 12 tracks, but, like, max 15, 16, as long as the quality is there. Like, I wouldn't want it to be a 30-song album just because it's been so long since the last one, because I'm going to replay songs from a, you know, an album that is just a better body of work way more. So I do think it's an interesting thing, kind of dropping so much just to keep the fans happy. Reject 6, go back to 7. That's what's up. Killjoy saying, I don't know, so far the album is okay, but my problem with it is that every song feels like a first draft. It doesn't feel like the songs expand in any way from the start, but at this point, what could you expect from a 60-track album a year away from a 30-track album? That is true, yeah. I think what I kind of like about them is sort of, I don't know necessarily the, like, I would say I like the first draft nature, but they almost do kind of feel like streams of consciousness style tracks. Just, I think what I like about it with the specific focus of Scrim's music on this album is that it does feel a bit like a musical diary almost. You just sit down and make a song that reflects what you're feeling in that moment, which maybe isn't necessarily going to make the most like concise and high quality album, but I do sort of like it in the sense that you have this ability to make music. Why not just vent in front of a microphone and see what comes out of it? And then just throw all of that onto an album, I guess. Is there any rapper you'd take a 30-song album from? Seems a little too beefy for any artist. See, I'm trying to think about that, Baby Johns. I think there are very, very few artists that I'd take that from. Like, I'm trying to think... what is the closest an album has been to that I actually think is like great? And the first example that comes into my mind, because it's also relevant to a video that I'm working on, is All Eyes on Me by Tupac. That's 27 tracks long. It is a double disc album, but at 27 tracks, it's stunningly consistent. Like, we've talked about this a little bit on stream before, but like barely any skips on that thing, which is related to the video that I'm working on. And that's like the closest thing to a long album from a rapper that I enjoy, that I'm like perfectly happy to sit down and listen to in one sitting. But most like if I'm thinking of a rapper I like, they drop an album tomorrow, I wouldn't want it to be 30 tracks from almost anybody. So, let's see. It does, Movie Madman. I believe it's the last one in the video that I talk about currently. I might add some more in there. So let's see what we're going to get on track number 10, Second World Vagrant. 30-track Bad Meets Evil album, if that's what it takes to get more music out of them. True. You know what? That I would take. I think it might still be a bit overly long, but fuck it. 30 like Bad Meets Evil tracks. Why not? Eminem and Royce going back and forth? Sure, I'll take it. And I do agree, yeah, that's why Casino by Baby Keem was such a breath of fresh air, being only 11 songs. Keem focused on quality over quantity for his comeback, and I think it made for a really memorable album. I can look at that album and be like, oh yeah, off the top of my head, just looking at the titles, I remember how every track sounds, and, you know, could recite it a little bit, can remember the beats. So I think it makes it stick a lot more, because you give the tracks more significance by putting less of them on there. So let's see what we're going to get on Second World Vagrant. Oh, that's a lengthy one, damn. Jeez. Going more 808 focused here. True Nunez. Habibti is my favorite example of quality over quantity. It's an interesting direction with the 808s there. Okay. Hell yeah.
Also, like,
my guy, we're halfway through the track. What the fuck? 2 minutes?
I remember that river being like, it was like raining or something.
2 minutes of Mr. Buffy?
And then it's usually pretty clear, but it was like all chocolatey. And we had like this inflatable raft we bought at Kmart.
So maybe a bit too much for the outro of this one.
And
so we're currently on track 10, you fear.
We had one little paddle. And I remember what that felt like, you know, just having the river take you. You know, we didn't even really paddle that much. We just got in this stupid inflatable thing, just sort of floated down the river.
I think Kendrick could make a 30-track album work, but there's still a lower chance. That's what I was thinking, like Movie Madman. Like, even that, I feel like would be a bit too long, and that's someone that can craft an incredible album, you know?
And there's just a big tradition.
Maybe if it's a double album, 15 tracks, and they're both doing their own thing, that could work.
It just takes you.
But even then,
You know,
lengthy.
you gotta be outside, you gotta be in the wild, you gotta be in the, it's gotta be dangerous a little bit. You know?
What's your favorite SB track? Good question, Jaded.
Think about Moses.
It's hard to say because there's so many that would be up there.
God, it was sitting on his fucking couch. He was out there.
I've heard so many songs from them. It's hard to pull like one off the top of my head. I mean, Kill Yourself Part 3 is a classic. Love the beat there, but that's such a generic pick.
You know, he's wrestling God out there. He's out there.
I really love Full of Grace for a newer one.
Where it's a little bit dangerous. You know, he's in the Jabba. He's in Mesopotamia. The fool's wrestling God out there. Or
What's going on now, man?
That prophet, I think it's Elijah. You know, he goes to recover his strength in the wild. John the Baptist, these motherfuckers are wild. They're wild people, and they're led by the Spirit into the wild. You know, they're wild folk. These are fierce, wild, romantic folk. And I'm
Is that
listening to
right
your
now?
album, and I'm just thinking about what goes on in the studio. You know, you're in there wrestling. Good on you. Good on you. Good
Was
shit.
that was not a real laugh? What the fuck was that?
Good on you. Good on you. Good shit.
Sounds like a parody of a laugh. Okay, well, that was certainly something right there, wasn't it? I want Hell, the sequel, man, me too. Maybe that's why they haven't made another one yet. You know, they're stuck on the title. We've already done Hell, the sequel. What are we gonna do next? So, this one right here, it was a banger, but I almost forgot what the track sounded like for a second, because we had 2 minutes of Shia LaBeouf talking at the end right there. Is it more Shia LaBeouf or Shia LaBeouf? I've heard people say it both ways. I would say more LaBeouf, but yeah, that was quite a lengthy talking skit at the end, to the point where, you know, I enjoyed the sort of theming in the beginning, setting up this runaway theme, and that does continue it. But if the sections are going to be that long on the individual tracks, I think at that point I'm kind of like, okay, let's wrap it up a little bit quicker. Come on, surely there's a briefer way that we could do it. It was a prime example of yap maxing. I mean, I'm quite experienced in the arts of yap maxing, so I get it to a degree. But yeah, it definitely, I mean, it used up half or just over half of the runtime of this song right here, which is a bit much. I think the main song was a good banger. I like the way it played around with the 808s, hitting kind of different notes on it, gave them that little kind of rolling sound that was pretty fun. I'm getting the impression from Scrim's music that he's from the north side. Seems to be a little bit of a theme right here, incorporated into many tracks, but I thought the flows here were cool. Second verse had a bit of back and forth in the deliveries. The chorus even, or the bridge actually, after the chorus, had some really nice flows in there as well. I'm going to give that one, I'm going to give it a 6. Would have been a 7. Get your ha-has out right there, okay? But pulled down a little bit by the outro skit for me. The only song in the album so far where it's been long enough to be an issue for me.
Nice.
Hell the trilogy or Hell the threequel? Here we go. Damn, they had the opportunity for that all along and they haven't done it yet? Crazy. That was on my favorite list. See, I completely understand that from purely like a just enjoying the song perspective, to be fair, Scarecrow. You know, I'm also looking at it from a little bit of a music review, album crafting perspective as well. So, you know, the actual song itself, solid, enjoyable. I would just incorporate on the first listen the spoken word bit into my overall rating of it. Ye is performing live in Turkey right now. He is looking and sounding better than he has in a really long time. Really interesting. I heard a little bit about the performance. I didn't know that, or like that it was upcoming. I didn't know it was happening right now. Interesting. There you go. Let's see. What else was I going to check here? Oh yeah, and Killjoy was saying a little bit earlier, not my type of style of album crafting whatsoever, but I see the appeal of something like that. See, I'm in the same boat that, for the most part, I would prefer something more, like, I'm an album guy, right? So I prefer stuff that is crafted and focused, and like the album, you can actually listen to the album and enjoy it in that form. But again, I'm not super against this one right now in the specific way that it's being pulled off, and just the sort of general context of Scrim, I guess. Is College Park by Logic all over again? Oh yeah, College Park was pretty indulgent with its sort of like skits and interludes, right? Yeah, that's true. I have the CD for College Park. I saw it somewhere here in Toronto and was just like, yeah, I like that album. I'll pick it up, but definitely would be hitting that skip button at the end of the tracks a few times. So let's see where we go on track number 11, Country Boy Freestyle. Track number 11. Bam.
I'm sick.
We barely scraped the surface of this album. Ooh. Is this one on Scarecrow's favorites? Let's see. I don't think so. Second where Vagrant was, though.
You know, some days I wake up wanting to blow my fucking head off. Some days I wake up feel like, hey, nah, motherfucker fucking with me.
Duality of man. Right now it's 2:30 p.m. for B-Kid Northway. What was the censored bit there? Man, I don't think I've ever heard codeine sound so appealing before over weed. Codeine smell like candy, but this chronic smell like foot. To be fair, sometimes, I don't know if you guys think this, but sometimes weed does smell a bit sweaty. There's a little bit of an underlying BO scent to weed. Codeine smells like candy? That don't sound so bad. What the fuck is wealth if my dad can't get well? Okay. Sample there is really nice as well. Good sample choices so far. Shame they're not credited on Genius as of yet. Only 2 tracks from this project have the samples listed on who sampled. One of them samples Bryson Tiller. Interesting. Piano there is cool. I like the sample.
Scott, it's hey, you were talking last night about struggling with your faith. Give me a call. I want to tell you about Romans 10:17.
Interesting. Okay. See, that's a nice little quick voicemail skit at the end that, you know, can maybe bridge into the next song and keep a little bit of a theme going. That's a little bit more effective. Country Boy Freestyle, another solid banger. Like the pianos in there, nice little accent within the production. I'm curious. So I'm trying to follow the arc of this. Is Scrim sober at the moment? Because he talks on this track about, you know, I'm high as a junkie on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, on a Sunday. I don't know if that's talking about how things were for him before, or, you know, progress isn't necessarily linear. It could be a back and forth kind of thing. So I'm just curious about where he's at right now, because obviously that will be a big part of the lyrics and the writing on here, depending on where he is. But oh, those pianos actually remind me of something from a Reasonable Doubt era Jay-Z track. Nothing else about the beat did, but those pianos did. That's crazy, because I can kind of hear that now, like being on a Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z track, just with the pianos specifically. Throw some more boom bap style drums around that, and there you go. You got a pretty clean early Jay-Z beat. So he is sober, okay. Some songs he references his old self or uses drug references for other things that give him that feeling, like making music. Okay, there we go. So, all good there. I'm going to give that one... I might go another 7. It's still a solid banger. Very nice. Dum, 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 dum. Weed usually smells like skunk piss to me. Yeah. Yeah. Some of it can smell solid. Some of it has nice undertones, but often it's not the best smelling thing in the world. Let's be honest. It's not the best smelling thing in the world. So, let's see where we go from there. Track number 12 is Unbelief, which I feel like could be a pretty fitting following one to the outro of the previous track, where he's getting a voicemail from someone saying Scrim is struggling with his faith. So let's see if this track kind of continues that idea.
Struggling with your faith. Give me a call. I want to tell you about Romans 10:17.
You did good, say.
Smash.
It's been hard to accept that you gone. Sometimes I wish I haven't had a phone.
Okay, it's gonna be more about losing someone.
Alone, I start to cry. Life was hard, but it got harder when you died. Since you been gone, can you believe that I got married? Been working hard like you and taking care of family. Since you been gone, it's been real hard on my daddy. Been trying to have some kids, but you won't see him selling. Really miss hearing you calling me your son. I often wonder if you like who I become. You were my hero, couldn't believe I had your blood. My hero died, and ever since then I've been numb. Try my hardest to believe that you in a room with me.
Oh, I think this is about his grandpa who basically raised him. Okay. Definitely getting a more emotional one here then.
You gave me life, and all you said was you was proud of me. And since you died, been trying to make them proud of me. And since you died, there's been a hole inside of me. Mama swears you would've smoked a blunt outside with me. Paramedics rolling daddy down the stairs. Already broken, barely touching 7 years. You were the arms that held me tight while in despair. You were the closest thing I had to answer prayers. First they helped me realize that my daddy loved me. Watching your oldest cry and say I miss my buddy. Too hard to think about it, caught up in the what ifs. I can barely talk about my favorite subject. Most days I hope that this is all a nightmare. Wishing that I wake up with you sitting right there.
Really nice like synth in the beat there.
I felt like you was right there. Only to wake up crying back up in this nightmare. I often wonder if you like who I become.
And another one that is way more steady, production-wise, very fitting for a song with this subject matter. Next stream will be Wednesday around 1 p.m. Eastern, Kid Northway. Oh, and there's the drums. For the last hook. No, first copyright warning of the stream. We might get a block during this album. It's actually pretty likely, but we'll see how it goes.
Been working hard like you and taking care of family. Since you been gone, it's been real hard on my daddy. Been trying to have some kids, but you won't see him selling. Really miss hearing you calling me your son. I often wonder if you like who I become. You were my hero, couldn't believe I had your blood. My hero died, and ever since then I've been numb. Try my hardest to believe that you in a room with me. Bless all the ones you and I see. Oh God, help my unbelief.
Okay, there you go. Still need to hear the Peggy album, Kid Northway. I haven't listened to it yet.
Lonely boy.
Relief I thought was a solid one. This one, you could argue one of the deepest ones on the project so far, with this one being about Scrim's granddad. I'm assuming here, with the way it's talked about in the song, his dad's dad, because he mentioned about how it's hard on, you know, Scrim's own dad and all that kind of stuff right here. Yeah, went a lot deeper, and that could be one of the things that, you know, shook his faith a little bit, because losing someone can definitely do that to you and make you feel a little bit more existential, question things a lot more. And it definitely made for an impactful song. Also talking about the stuff that his granddad is gonna kind of miss out on, that Scrim wishes that he was there for. Like he said here, he passed away before he got married. He's trying to have kids now, and his granddad passed away before, you know, he could see that as well. So yeah, pretty impactful stuff. And I think it tackled the subject matter and got kind of across the pain of that and the sort of feelings that you go through around that extremely well. A little more steady production-wise, as you would expect with something like this. Drums still came in for the last chorus. Honestly, with this song, I wouldn't have minded the drums being absent for the entire thing. I think this is something that could work very well as a fully drumless track, and would even make it stand out even further within the track list, give it that kind of unique stamp as one of the only songs, or maybe even the only song that does that. But yeah, still solid enough when the drums came in there. I'm gonna give that one a nice strong 7. Put it down as a favorite. I think it tackled that subject matter really well. Nice. I'm pretty happy with that one. Had a good bit of depth to it. Let's see how many claims we get from 59 tracks. Yeah, I imagine it might take 2 or 3 separate streams to get through the whole album, but we shall see. We shall see how it goes as we go throughout this. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get through the entire thing. There's that other tab with 0 blocks, but we shall see. So track number 13, Blood Knife. Sounds like we maybe are going to go a little bit harder with that title, but let's see. Maybe it's misleading.
Lonely boy.
Yeah. Stressed out, reading Luke, then it all clicked. Think I've been worried about the wrong shit. Trying to go to sleep, that I had a phone flip. Try my bounce back when I see the phone lit. You did good, sick. Locked in, no depression, either way, I'm looking homeless. Piss up my serotonin. I done missed so many moments. I've been up and up my prayer life, trying to get my head right. See my daddy breaking down, he been falling down the air night. Let the house get empty, let them think that I don't cry. Terrified, time flying, oh no, I don't wanna die. You know my heart, oh Lord, I can't lie to you. But oh Father, I can barely lift my eyes to you. Have mercy on me and sin. Have mercy on me and sin.
Okay.
Have mercy on me.
What is that sample?
I'm just trying to get my buzz right. Space get dead like a buzz light. Certain day like it's fun life. Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, a little bit more bounce here. Fun little fusion of some more bounce, but still more emotion to it. And again, more of the struggles with faith right here. I feel so bad for thinking the beat sounds so much like In My Feelings by Drake. Kinda though, yeah. Honestly fair. Slowing it down. There we go. Oh, bridges into the next one as well. So we are getting some transitions in here, which is a nice little touch as well to just, you know, add some further cohesion, tie everything together. Blood Knife was pretty smooth, bit of bounce to it, but still some depth. And it does seem like that sort of Scrim's Battle with Faith, which just reminds me, man, doing that Dex worst rappers in the game has rotted my brain, because every time I say that, I just think of Battles with Faith, which is a Dex track, but that is a theme on this project right here. It seems Scrim going a bit back and forth on that. Here, it seemed like him, you know, getting a little bit more of that faith back. And yeah, I think as someone that never really gets that invested in sort of Christian rap concepts necessarily, I think it's tackled pretty effectively here with how it's being laid out and showing us some of the events throughout this project that have shaken Scrim's faith a little bit. You know, as someone that's not very like religious myself, not really at all, it's sometimes subject matter that just doesn't really intrigue me all that much. But I think it's being tackled well here, you know, and giving us Scrim's perspective on it and things that have, you know, made that a little trickier for him, and going back and forth on that, I think it's cool. I like how we're getting some solid running themes throughout the project, and with the elongated track list, I feel like what you're getting more so is like several different tracks that are kind of about similar things or the same thing, but tackling it from slightly different angles on each one. It's kind of like an elongated version of that experience where the album does have themes. You're just getting several different tracks all about the same theme. But I think it's being pulled off, again, pretty well so far. Blood Knife sounded smooth. Probably another 7 for me. I can only think of the music video where Dex is helping Jesus carry the cross. He might be the funniest rapper of all time. Honestly. You can't even knock it. I mean, you can, but sometimes you just gotta appreciate the ridiculousness of Dex. Because he 100% knows it's ridiculous, but it works, man. It works. I really need to give up on my my self-respect. Man, I could go so much further if I just do that. The grift is powerful, man. The grift is powerful. The vocal sample sounds like Denzel Curry, not gonna lie. I wonder if it is a Denzel sample. Interesting. I didn't really think about that. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I do hope that the Genius page gets updated one day. The only sample that's listed here is Desire Machine by Spirit Blue, but I don't know if that's a song from 2024, so I don't know if that is the sort of like vocal sample in there, if that's more an instrumental thing. Not too sure. Having a crisis of faith happened to me very long ago, like when I was a teenager, so it feels very distant to me. Can't imagine going through these feelings nowadays, so it's interesting to hear. Yeah, it is fair. I mean, I've had things like that before as well. Definitely had more of a belief in stuff like that when I was younger, and that can get shaken throughout your life through certain things happening. So yeah, definitely there is an element of relatability. Now that you mention it, I'm thinking back like, yeah, you know, between when I was a teenager to now, things have definitely shifted somewhat for me. So there is something to that as well. So let's see what we're getting on track number 14, Clairaudience, which has like 6 producers on here. I think that's the most a song has had in terms of number of producers on the project. Let's see what we get here. This, of course, had a little bridge from the previous track instrumentally. Ooh. Hey, how's it going, Hab Mathir? Welcome, welcome. Okay. This one's going a lot steadier, a lot more low-key. Hey, how's it going, Ash? Also, Scarecrow saying, I don't know if you saw my last message, but it relates to this track. Oh, this Nick track, he uses a chatter rhyme scheme from Overdose Over You. Interesting. You know what's funny? Maybe that's why I'm not crazy into this one. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, I can check that in a little minute for sure, Ash. Oh wait, does this one have the Silent Hill theme as a basis for a beat? Is that on this one or the previous one? That's actually quite cool. I need to play more Silent Hill, man. I emulated the first one, completely legally obtained ROMs, on my Legion Go, and I haven't went back to it in a little bit because I genuinely find it quite scary, but I need to play more of it. I really want to go through that whole franchise, eventually get around to the newest one, Silent Hill F, because I love horror, but horror video games, man, they absorb you and the experience is scary as fuck. Woo! Damn. I'm liking the transitions and the, you know, each track bridging between the next. That was a really cool instrumental outro right there. Yeah, no problem at all, Ash. I'll definitely get back to you on that. My bad for not seeing it before now. But yeah, I'll check that real soon. I still have times where I wish I believed in heaven, like my grandma just passed the other day. Hey, sorry for your loss there, Hunter. And I hope she's in heaven with her husband and her ancestors. I just don't believe in a specific God. I mean, I always like to think, you know, maybe something else will happen after this. It's a nice thought to have, and, you know, believing that doesn't hurt anything. And, you know, it helps you, weirdly enough, I think, enjoy things a little bit more just now, because you can just live your life, have fun, hope that something's going to happen afterwards, but who knows at the end of the day. I do like to believe that, you know, there will be something that happens, but I'm the same as you there, where I don't really believe in a specific God or any specific religion necessarily. I just like to think that maybe there's something else that will happen. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Even when he isn't around, the spirit of Cheetah haunts CDTV. Yeah, that's what it is right there. Killjoy saying, I find it kind of funny because despite 6 producers on the track, this is probably the most boring track so far. I would regrettably agree with Claire Audience. It is one that, you know, Scarecrow was saying basically interpolated or utilized the Cheetah flow. And I do think it also went a little Cheetah style in terms of the delivery, being a little bit more drowsy, slightly more croaky, and it's just less my kind of thing, especially on an album of this length. It doesn't mean it can't have slower tracks, of course, but this one just dragged a little bit too much for me. The instrumental outro was really cool. I did like that, but I'd go like a 5 there. That's my least favorite for sure. Still, not too shabby. Took 14 tracks to hit a least favorite. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. But yeah, I can't be mad at that. Heaven would be sick, but I'm going to enjoy my time here on Earth the best I can. There we go. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. I only played Silent Hill 2 and F, both go nuts, but do not touch these games till you finish Resident Evil. That's true. That's true. I'm still on Village, man. I need to, well, not replay it, but come back to it and finish that up, because I was having a blast with it. I really like the newer style of Resident Evil games. They are very cool. So, let's see where we go from there on to the next one. Track number 15 is Dead Eyes Ent. E-N-T. Let's go. Run it back slightly just to get a bit of the instrumental transition. Hey. Okay. Different kind of delivery, different kind of production on this one. Okay. On a shrimp like a Mario. All right. Hardy bro bars, can't be mad at that. All right, man. Ooh. I have not too easy, Kid Floral. Bro, it wasn't me stealing the Pokemon cards, I swear. I swear. Okay.
Moses received his life's mission. You
No!
know, he got his whole purpose. He called out. He calls up to something way bigger than him, bigger than he ever imagined. You know, it's way bigger than some fucking CEO. You know,
There's something that unsettles me about hearing Shia LaBeouf talking about the Bible.
You know, he's in the wilderness. I wonder what your studio looks like. I wonder if you look at it that way.
Very much born again Christian vibes, if you will.
I mean, how many fucking songs you got on this thing? You ain't talking to nobody. You ain't checking with nobody. You're out there, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And Scrim ain't your name. You know, you got a new name. When'd you get that name? Jacob receives his new name. He gets his real name. You know, Jacob gets a new name. He's not some business negotiator, this dude, you know? He's wrestling with God. He's fighting that mother. He's fighting him.
What? All right, now we're just getting pure waffle. I'm dreading the longer tracks here now because I know that we're probably going to get some babble at the end of them. Dead Eyes End was a solid one, though. Went way more banger style on this. Different style of flows and deliveries, I feel like, to anything else that we've got on the project so far, which, you know, 15 tracks deep, still getting some relatively fresh styles of songs, I think is pretty cool. Now, it's less than a third of the album, of course, but I do think it's nice that we're still getting somewhat refreshing sounds and styles throughout it. I'd probably go a strong 6 on that one. Enjoyable track.
Nice.
Yeah, how many minutes of yap time are on this album? Maybe not as much as CDTV yap time, of course. It's hard to top that. But it's a good chunk. It is a good chunk. These yap sessions to end a song suck. The songs are fun, and then it's ruined. It definitely hurts them a bit, methinks. She absolutely is a fake Christian. He went to that shit after abuse allegations and started being homophobic. There's I'm not going to say it's everybody that falls into this category, but you do see a lot of like born again Christians where it's really just people that have done horrible shit earlier on in their lives, and they're like, hang on, if I turn to religion, then that means everything I did was forgiven and it's okay, you know? And that's like the last reason why you should be turning to it, because it doesn't feel like genuine belief. It's more like, this makes everything I did like wiped clean, like it's a blank slate, you know? Crazy. Hey, how's it going, Alex? Welcome, welcome. What a question, Polish Lavender. How balls deep are we in this scrimussy? We are 15 tracks deep in this scrimussy. So we're not even all the way. We're like, we're just entering, basically. Oh, there's a lot going on here, Alex. There's a lot going on at the moment. Honestly, solid enough banger we got on that track, though. Real Christians don't even hate gay people. The Bible literally says to not hate anyone. The people that do are just using it as an excuse to be hateful. Yeah, I think that's one thing that can bother a lot of people about it, is that there are, unfortunately, a lot of people that use religion as a basis to justify discrimination, which is like, again, probably one of the last things you should be doing with it, because, you know, you can misappropriate like certain quotes and stuff and use them to justify whichever agenda you have. And yeah, people that do that, not good. Not good, I would say. I mean, the horrible person who is a celebrity to Reborn in Christianity is the OG horrible person who is a celebrity to MAGA Pipeline. High key. Truth nuke. So, let's see where we go on the next one. Track number 16, Broken Vessels. Now, this one has a 4-minute runtime. I want to hear 4 minutes of song, Scrimmy. 4 minutes of song. Let's see.
He's wrestling with God.
I think the fact that it is Sheila Booth kind of takes away from these skits as well, like considering context and the faith theme. We could have got a better vessel for that message.
Yeah, feel like one day I just woke up, confused, half my life gone. Same ones that's cursing me, same ones I'm fighting for. Anytime feelings coming up, I tell myself, boy, tighten up. Breaking down, deal with nut, cause I can never get high enough. Yeah. It's a dark, cold place when the drugs ain't working. She just wanted me, all she got was Perkins. Rich on paper, inside I'm worthless. Ain't trying to make you nervous, but
ooh.
If only you knew. If only you
drums are clean.
If only you knew. If only you knew. This for every kid that say they wanna die. This for every kid with nowhere left to hide. This for every kid who can never cry. This one for the kids that only know goodbyes. I can't promise you it's gonna get better, but I can promise it won't last forever. Just hold my hand, we'll let go together. I know a God will connect in heaven. And if I fall, hope I fall for it. I used to call, now the call's for it. Even if I fall, I'ma crawl toward it.
That would be so funny. Yes, yeah.
How do you explain pain you can't comprehend? Oh, got some oxygen. Cause all my friends are dead, yeah, but none of them are buried. And the only man that cared for me in the cemetery. Every time I blame my eyes, it's another February. If love can name a price, I'll pay whatever it tell me. If letting go the price, I don't think I can afford it. If letting go the price, only chance I ever stole it. These are hunger pains, you can see my ribs poking. And lose all of my faith, yeah, can see I'm still hoping. But I can barely breathe, I can barely eat. I've been doubling up the dose, I can barely see. Body dragging me, even I be scared of me. This shit done got too deep, yeah, we past therapy. Time keep getting harder, hoping for tomorrow. The one pill I can swallow is that I can't help my father. To a fall I'm low, hurting in withdrawal. Sure they wondering what I think, yes I'm lighting up the phone. Shit.
Nicely produced.
If only you know. If only you know. If only you ain't wanna die. This for every kid with nowhere left to hide. This for every kid who can never cry. This one for the kids that only know goodbyes. I can promise you it's gonna
It's a nice little atmosphere to this beat, I think.
I can promise it won't last forever. Just hold my hand, we'll let go together. I know a God will connect to heaven. And if I fall,
I feel like since Unbelief, we are very much in the sort of like, I mean, it's been a theme on the project before now, but this very much feels like the very faith-focused section, religious-focused section of the album right here from like track 12 to now, track 16. Because we're still continuing that theme on this track. Again, tackling it from a bunch of different angles and sounds. The same topic, but being approached in a few different ways.
You've been on my mind, and I just
Okay,
want
from
to
his mom
tell
here.
you that I am so very proud of you, your sobriety. I hope you are enjoying the tour, and I will see you Saturday. Enjoy yourself on stage. I love you so much. Bye, my angel.
Ah, that's sweet. Well, that's a nice little moment there at the end of Broken Vessels. I thought this was one that was a little bit steadier, but I think it worked for me, creating a nice atmosphere with the production. Drums were schmecking, and Scrim, I think, sounded pretty good on it. Again, we are continuing that sort of Christianity and faith theme on this song, but I think the texture of his music in particular helps keep it a little bit interesting and, you know, keeps the tracks pretty engaging. I like that one. I'm gonna go smooth 7 on that one. Nice. Wouldn't say a Christian album, but an album with heavy Christian influence and themes. Yeah, I think that's what I would say for it as well. I mean, they have Christian like song charts, right? I don't think any of these songs will no matter how well they do, will necessarily be popping up on there. Let's see. Don't know if it matches. Yeah, there's a Billboard chart for Christian music. There we go. Why am I looking into this, man? They won't let me in with my ad blocker. Fuck. Okay, top song right now is Jesus is Alive by Forrest Frank, apparently. That's number 1 on the Hot Christian Songs chart. Maybe Scrim will make it up there, who knows, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts a little bit. Yeah, exactly, Killjoy. That's it right there. Some wild stuff, man. It's a very layered topic when it comes to discussing, you know, religion and whatnot. Because I have no issue at all with religious people, but it is when it comes down to what Killjoy is saying right there, like people taking certain quotes or sections of the Bible and other similar stuff and using that to push a certain agenda, or, you know, use it to justify any form of like bigotry or discrimination. That's where like a lot of the issues come from. And it's not an issue necessarily with the religion itself. It's people taking it and misappropriating it to be something else. Scrim even touches on how Christians don't like him on a track later on because he doesn't act Christian. Interesting. Okay. We're going to get that in here. Honestly, the faith thing does rub me wrong a bit because he chose Shia for the project. There are other religious celebrities who are a lot more authentic that he could have included. I think that's a good point as well. I think it was an unfortunate messenger to pick for the project right here. Yeah, you could argue it kind of hurts that theme quite a bit. So yeah, I do think it's intriguing seeing Scrim's perspective on it, but per choice of the celebrity to be voicing the spoken word sections here. So, track number 17, Moments of Nothing and Bridges to Nowhere. Let's go.
Enjoy yourself on stage. I
All
love
right.
you so much. Bye, my angel.
You did good, sis.
I think I rated the previous one a 7, right? Did I hit the rating for it? If I didn't, it was a 7 for me.
Right around that dude, time fell on. My fifth love a tribe when all I knew was pain. I ain't home much, just another
Nice buzzy textures here. Hey, yo, I'm the one with zero like I'm coded.
We the best music.
When it all falls on you, there ain't no room for living. There's two things I hope and ones that I'm forgiving. There's two things I hope and once my bitch start tripping. You come up like I did, it's best to hide your feelings. One good thing with this money, it's been real revealing. So how I'm disappearing, yeah. Let's go. Too many nights I died staring at the ceiling. I'm crying hard inside, I hope it's over here. Hope it ain't the end, but fell off somewhere near. Rain on me, Holy Spirit.
Okay. Ooh. Hey, we bringing out the claps. Let's go.
I wonder if they notice. No one with zero, like I'm golden.
It's a very spiky sounding clap.
My fifth will ever try when all I know is pain. I ain't on much, just enough to go insane.
Good drums there.
Probably best they don't know. If I was gone, I wonder if they notice. I'm proud of bro, just so barely know it. What to go for depends on how I sold it. I don't want to say like I'm coded.
Hey, yo, the beat sounds like it's fading out and we still have a minute left. What's about to happen?
Like, if I gotta, I'm gonna be a fucking hypocrite if I can't live the way life moves me. You know, I was never meant to. I don't think
We got
I was
another
ever
one.
meant to be like this docile creature.
Another
God
one.
created me just the way I'm supposed to be, and I'm coming to terms with that. I used to really feel down on myself about it. Like I was all like just a, I used to call myself a fuck up and all these weird names. And I know now I'm more effective with dudes who are coming into the faith. I meet a lot of dudes in the rooms like you, and you get to that third step, and dudes are like, "Man, I need a fucking Polaroid picture." And I'm really effective with guys like that. I find even at 20,
Not again.
I'm really good at talking my shit. Talking my shit about my relationship with God, just because of my path, and because of who I am. And I find myself to be more effective than even like some of these bishops. I met this dude, Bishop Barron, one time. Really smart guy, really beautiful guy, beautiful man, beautiful spiritual man. But he has a hard time talking to these like grommets on the floor. And I think about guys like you and guys like me, and I think, bro, we have purpose,
Yeah, when I think down to earth and grounded, I think Sheila
you gotta,
Booth.
like, maintain that Adam dirt. And you got to stay like a little bit dirty, That's our true Christian.
You did good.
That's a true Christian at the end of that there. That's a scorcher, man. Wow. Perfection. Well, that was certainly an outro. A lot to unpack right there. A lot to unpack. But the song itself, I think, was once again solid. We're maybe hitting, Scarecrow is saying towards the second half is where we get, a little bit more bangers coming through, and we will still get like a good bit of subgenre variety throughout here. I think on this track, we are hitting a little bit of diminishing returns with this style of Scrim song, because we've got quite a few that sound similar to this so far, and I think this one is solid. It's a track that would pop out a little bit more, I think, if there weren't quite a few that already sound like it by this point in the project. Still enjoy the overall sound, but probably a little closer to a 6 on this one, just because of a little bit of diminishing returns here.
Nice.
Shia homophobic to gay arc, it does happen. It has been known to happen before. You never know. It reminds me of Kendrick putting Kodak Black on a track being placed as a sinner, but there's a serious discussion to be had about whether they are actually sorry in changing or not. Yeah, there was a big discussion around that, and I'm still of the belief that like Kodak on there is not a good choice. I I think the way it was pulled off on that album was pretty bad for me. But yeah, it is kind of similar on here with Shia. So let's see what we're getting on the next one right here. Track number 18, Calabasas. If you want to split it into 3 discs, sort of. It's not split that way on Spotify at all, but, we're coming up on the end of the first one, the first chunk, the first third of tracks.
That's our true Christian.
You did good, son. People saying I ain't Christian.
Oh.
God said I'm not enough for actors.
Okay, there we go.
I found God in a smoky man. Rehab out in Calabasas. And I heard the Lord say, whom shall I send? I said, send me, Lord. Here I am. Here I am. A million eyes always judging me.
Okay, drum's not coming in yet. Cool.
So used to peers always loving me. I got questions like what would God want with me? Cause nobody ever wanted me. Trying to get high and that's hard for me. I watch my brother die in front of me. I got dead bodies haunting me.
Pulling out the guitars once again.
It's never good that they calling me.
Damn, Christians and demons both taunting me.
I was walking dead up and down the streets. Generational trauma centuries running through my genes. Lord, I was looking for you when it started with the land. Lord, I swear I thought I saw you when I traded out with my king. Pain told me to offend. Lost my papa as a 10. See my papa in my dreams. I need something to believe. Oh no, that can be deep. Words they on me like a rock. From gray hairs where the time go. All this stress got me ate up. Oh no, I am not your savior.
Yo, he said the thing. He is not your savior. It all comes full circle, man.
Trying to connect with my creator. If you need me, Lord, I listen. I got the spirit of Isaiah. People saying I ain't Christian. God said I'm not love for actors. I found God in a smoky man. Rehab out in Calabasas. And I heard the Lord say, whom shall I send?
Cool little guitars there.
Send me, Lord. Here I am. Here I am. A million eyes always judging me.
Ooh, next one sounds a little bit more banger-esque, potentially. Been a little bit, well, actually, Dead Eyes was a banger, right? Dead Eyes ENT. But Calabasas, I think, was another one that was all right. But again, a little bit similar to what we've got previously. He did address right here, a little bit, being judged by Christians, people saying that he doesn't act Christian, kind of being rejected a little bit from that by certain people, which I think was kind of interesting subject matter to at least briefly touch on here. But quite a bit of it felt, again, like themes we've got so far. Again, that struggle with faith, and in particular his concerns or questions about an afterlife and wondering what that's going to be like, which again, I think a bit of a relatable theme right there. But we have heard it on other tracks on the project, so maybe one that, again, a little bit of diminishing returns and doesn't necessarily pop too much compared to what we got so far. A nice solid 6 once again, but not one that really stands out amongst the rest of the track list for me. So hopefully we'll hit a little bit more of that variety soon. But this one was okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Curious to see where we go from there, but I will take a quick bathroom break before we continue. There will be a few bathroom breaks throughout this album because we're 2.5 hours deep in the stream. We just finished track 18. We're not even halfway, bro. We got plenty more songs to go. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes and we'll keep it rolling. I'll play you guys some Scrim type beats while I'm away. Let's go for this one. It's called Radiating. Hopefully it's a cool beat. Enjoy, and I will see you shortly.
Give it a couple more times.
Goth Helma is back in the phone.
Give it a couple more times.
Goth Helma is back in the phone.
Mi amor, I'm not one that you can ignore. I want your phone numero, por favor. I see your body is like Coca-Cola. I'll come and pick you up in Testarossa. Hey. You're busy now, but can I see you after? Or maybe tomorrow, daddy, come happen.
What a fusion.
Take you to Santos, we can dance bachata. Take you to Kiki or the booby trapper. Hey.
Crazy. Crazy. Listen, we had to switch it up a bit. Nothing sits on the beats quite like coming in Hummers, but, you know, we're testing things out, seeing what we can get right here. So, let's see where we continue. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Still going good. Still no copyright block. I think we will run into one before the album is over, but hopefully a minimal amount right here. Movie Man saying there's actually my only issue with that album, that being Mr. Morale. I think it's top 3 Kendrick, and it's arguably the Kendrick album that I listen to the most. So interesting because it's the one I listen to the least. But, you know, I've dove into that a little bit before. But even 4 years after the fact, I think Kodak was a bad choice to portray the whole person who is messed up and is seeking self-betterment role on that album. Like, Kendrick could have easily just filled that role himself. Still leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. I still agree with that, yeah. 100% still agree with that. I think it will always be a bad choice, and, you know, I think it's fine to say that as well, even if you, like, thoroughly enjoy the album. So track number 19, we got Tears of War. Sounds like it could be a bit more of a banger, but we will find out as we hop into it right here. Man, track 19, 40 more after this. That's wild. That's kind of funny. Okay. Little wah in the background there.
I see shit and they fit the description. The voice for the broken and sinners. I get hope to the ghetto ambitions. I get hope to the fiends that addicted. If I crash, then it's gonna be collisions. Fuck, they know about Tears of War. 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 People stand up for big dogs. Tight to kill for my kinfolk. Locked in, fuck outside. I ain't even looking out the window. Big black truck, blood looking like a fat fuck. True sky, get him slapped up like a dice bitch. I'm strapped up. Put a Lamborghini on my granny street. It's A or die. I ain't playing for B. You can ask my mama, ain't no plan to me. Thank God this man's for my sanity. Fighting everything, even gravity. Go for jump away from my balcony. Getting fucked with by these racist pigs. When my lawyer ain't saying shit. Race fucked up, but was a racist snitch. Race fucked up, but was a racist bitch. Fucked up, ain't saying
some crazy ad libs.
Fuck, they know about Tears of War. Fuck, they know about Tears of War.
Yeah, it was like Wario ad libs. I was trying to think. That sounds like a animated character. Oh yeah, that could be true actually, Movie Man. It would make sense considering Kendrick seemed to be very much into X's music. I could see that. Oh, nice bridge from Tears of War once again into Get Behind Me Satan, which is the next one. Tears of War, again, it's solid, but I feel like at this point in the track list, things are popping out a little less. It's another one I would give a 6 to, because they're all like solid enough to listen to. Just doesn't pop out as much. I do think the ad-libs were pretty entertaining on there, a bit of a Wario-esque sound to them. But yeah, it's getting harder to distinguish them a little bit between each other. Wow. Interesting. Fuck, they know about Tears of War. Wario ad-libs were pretty fun, I will say. Personally, someone who hasn't heard Mr. Morale yet, wouldn't someone like Vic Mensa be a better fit for that song than Kodak? That would be an interesting placement. I've seen some interesting videos on Twitter from Vic Mensa recently. They were pretty entertaining to watch. Can't remember when was it was like within the past year. I've seen a couple from him just like talking about current shit that's happening. It's actually pretty entertaining to watch him talk. So yeah, he's found a new lane here. So let's see where we go on the next one. This one kind of bridged into it pretty nicely. Track number 20, Get Behind Me Satan, another instrumental transition. Transition. It's got a cool sound going at the beginning. I like synths. I might be in here, strapped in for the ride. Okay, there we go.
Let's go. Old school whip with a brand new job. Barefoot boys who ain't had no sides. Green light, yellow light, red light. Green dot, blue dot, red dot. Louis V bags, say fill it with meds. I'm using to ease my trauma.
That's a little switch in the sound I think we needed right now.
I'm making the deals 100% M's and don't even get me excited. What's that to say when you cut off from brother who ain't even care to go hide it?
It's a deep voice ad-libs.
From the kids, I had no escape, so we stayed awake till we was delirious. The vibe is fucked, the mode and city
Bit more rage style. Cool. I'm here for it. I like the pattern of the drums here. All right, man. Some cream pie bars on here. That string section was sick though. Sorry, I got lost in the bars there. Ooh, okay. Yeah, if I recall correctly, movie Madman and Killjoy, I think it was about both R. Kelly and X's music possibly being removed, I think. Get Behind Me Satan was a banger. This was something I think we needed at this point in the track list, because I do like the slower tracks, or not necessarily slower, but the more vibey tracks, but I think just too many of them back to back to back. Again, there's those diminishing returns. It can start to kind of just bring down the momentum of the project too much. This was a nice little switch up in the sound that I think we really needed at this point in the project, going for a more rage style. I love the strings at the beginning of the second verse, where Scrim once again talks in maybe a little bit more of an explicit manner right here about wanting to have some kids in the future, you know, so that he has you know, the next generation he can pass over his riches, his property to, and everything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think the sound of it was pretty fantastic. Really loved the drums here. They almost had this kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the drums like stumbled like back and forth onto each other. So they just had this constant swing to the momentum of them. And that sounded pretty incredible. I'm going strong 7. Got to put that on the favorites list. I like that one. Another one for the favorites. Woo, woo, woo. True movie madman. Who else is doing it like him? You could definitely recommend one, Kid Northway. We probably won't be able to fit another album reaction in today either way, but if there's something, you know, you could recommend for me to check out, I'll definitely you know, take that into consideration right there. Oh, hold on, the Slur song is incoming. Crazy. I was driving, so I missed the chance to comment Tears of Wario. Just missed it. That's a banger though. Fair. So let's see what we're going to get on the next one. Track number 21, North Lake Korea. Once again, I wonder where Scrim is from.
Back the fuck up.
Going more bangery again. Oh. That's a really cool beat. Ooh. I appreciate the recommendation there, Kid Northway. I'll keep that one in mind. Ooh. That little sound is so cool. Okay, fair enough. So he was talking about his friend there. Ooh. Hello. Woo. Yeah. Yeet style ad libs again. How long is left? There's a whole minute left. Man, listen to that beat.
These dudes are explorers. They're explorers, you know, they're not just exploring, you know, the terrain, or they're looking for themselves too. You know, they're trying to figure out some of these questions. You just can't figure some of this shit out in the kitchen table or in the classroom. You know, you got to get out there. The big questions. Who am I? What am I made of? You know, what am I destined for? And I think fear keeps people at home. When everything's like neat and orderly and, you know, he's got it all under control and all that. But his deepest questions ain't getting no answers in there. It's not getting no answers in front of the television or on a smartphone or none of that, you know? You gotta be out there in the burning sands or in the eye of the storm. You gotta get lost a little bit.
There you go. Ooh, interesting. Next one sounds kind of cool. Lovely journeyman Sheila Booth here, giving us you know, more wisdom on the track, I guess. But man, the song itself was a banger. I did like North Like Korea. I thought that had a really cool beat, man. There was that little, I think it was like a synthy sound in there. Just a really cool thing that stood out in the production that makes this one pop a little more. I think the bangers are a nice change of pace at this point because we haven't had a crazy amount of them so far. That one's also like a nice 7 for me. Cool sound. Unrelated, but I love that you can hear the tail end of the word room just before the scream in the Kendrick soundbite. Hold on. Wow, how do you even... I've never noticed that before Movie Madman, but you're right. It is like just there. That's a crazy... That's like a microsecond you noticed it from right there. The track was hard enough for me to excuse the slur. Then Shia came in, so I can no longer ignore the slur. That's a fair perspective, I must say. Yeah, the song was a banger overall, though. Another one where I could do without the intro. But I didn't mind the track itself. I think it was well produced. Scrim solid on it. Yeah, nice deliveries there too, Scarecrow. I agree. So overall, I do enjoy the song, and the outro wasn't so long that it diminished my rating of the track. The only track that it's hurt my rating on was that one where, you know, she was yapping for more than half of the song's runtime. That was a bit too much. This one, it's like, it's still a bit annoying, but I could just skip it before the end, I guess. You might lose your mind during this album, Killjoy, because there are many more opportunities for him to pop up on here. So let's see what we're going to get on track number 22, American Spirits. This is one of the ones that does have a Who Sampled credit. Apparently this samples Right My Wrongs by Bryson Tiller. Let's see how it goes. Track number 22.
You gotta get lost a little bit.
You did good, sir.
Could it be you calling me down?
Smash.
My foolish heart turns at the stars.
Lonely boy.
All that I am is all that you see.
You're so used to it that you don't notice it anymore, Ben 10. Yeah.
Nobody else, and you're putting this all on me.
Bryson Tiller sounds a little different to how I remember.
before I walk up on my fucking skin. Sick of people saying it'll get better. All I say is when every day I'm praying to the heavens, still a broken man. Movies take a street, no, I feel like home.
It's an interesting drum pattern. According to Genius, it samples All On Me by Lexi Elijah. Where's the alleged Bryson Tiller sample here? Maybe instrumental, I don't know.
Fade away to my place unknown.
Could it be you calling me down?
Voices in my head.
Interesting. I gave the previous one a 7 as well. Scarecrow, another 7 for me.
All that I am is all that you see.
Voices in my head.
You don't need nobody else, and you're putting this
Won't stop
all
until
on
I'm
me.
dead. Lonely in a Lamborghini, praying they don't see me. Suicide was always on the table, but my family eating. I should probably ever want a label, baggage and the scene. While I pocket in the darkest fable, truth is way more freaky. There's a black hole eating up my soul.
Hey yo, he's hitting those high notes. If you're wondering about that sound on North Light Korea, more than likely Scrim sampled Brain on Me by Space Ghost Perp. Interesting, so that cool little sound was a sample. Hell yeah. Nice. A song that does not have a talking section at the end. We won, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't need nobody else, and you're putting this all on me.
Oh, okay. Next one sounds like it's more rage style, a little bit yeety with the ad libs. So cool sound to go for after this one. I think American Spirits was nice. Had a nice little sample right here, which let's see what who sampled the same.
Could it be you
Oh,
calling me down?
so it is the same.
Could it be you?
So it is sampled from a Bryson Tiller track. Interesting. I thought it made good use of that. It's something that, again, just gave the track a little bit of a different sound to it that makes it pop a bit more. I liked Scrim working with the sample during, I think it was the bridge right there. That was kind of cool to see that dynamic right here. This one I'll also give a 7 to. Like, a lot of these are solid tracks individually. I think the track list length, looking at it from like a reviewing critical perspective, the length of the track list will kind of hurt the album rating overall, but the individual songs, for the most part, still enjoying them. Still pretty solid listens. Can't be mad at that. My brain has become so poisoned by these streams because as soon as you said Bryson, I thought you were about to say that you sampled Bryson Gray. Now that would be an out-of-pocket sample. Let's go Brandon interpolation. Let's do it. Scrim did say that everything on here is cleared samples as well. They had to remove a lot of samples he wanted, though, because for some reason people don't like clearing stuff for Suicide Boys. That's crazy. Unfortunate, but I mean, hey, getting a Bryson Tiller sample cleared, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let's see what we get on the next one, which sounded like it was going more rage style. Had a pretty cool sound for that instrumental. Jose Alvarado.
Nobody else, and you're putting this all on me.
Okay, go. Hold
That's a cool transition. Let me double check on that movie, man. I'm gonna control F it. Oh, was it cement? Like he said it like cement? I think it might have been that. I had to do a little lyric check there. Oh yeah, Truth 2 Alive. Yeet reference in there. I hope that's your wife you're talking about there, Scrim. Nice little arpeggiated synth bass at the end there. Jose Alvarado was a cool one. This was a bit more of a Yeet Rage style banger, you know, throwing it back a bit on that one. I think it was solid for what it was. Again, there's a few different like kinds of song structures out here, which you would hope for with the amount of songs that we got. This one was just straight up one verse over that production, and one of the more brief ones on the project. I think it was cool for what it was. I'd probably go a strong 6 on that. I don't know if it like again pops out like crazy for me. Just in terms of the Rage style and, you know, Scrim executing on that, but yeah, still a cool track. I'm not mad at it for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, not too bad. It's a cool track. So let's see where we go from there on to the next one, which is track number 24. Maybe You're Right. ... Let's go. Man, these copyright warnings are getting brutal. Okay.
Still thinking that day she threw me out the house.
Bam.
Okay, maybe you right, baby. Maybe there's something to what you say. Maybe I can't face it. I know I'm sober, but if you roll it, I might face it. One thing by time, I'm gonna waste it. Get the jab, either way, the same.
I like the atmosphere this one's setting up.
Outcast, I never did blend with.
Ooh, I like the vocals on the verse too. Ooh, hold on. The way the hi-hats came into the track there, that was nice. Really kind of like ramped up the momentum of the track at a nice point in it. Like they sped up. Woo.
Maybe I'm delusional, maybe she delusional, maybe we don't choose
Yeah, that sort of like contrast between the drums, or not necessarily contrast, but just that switch up in them, I think is really effective here. I wonder what that's definitely a sample in there. I don't know where it comes from though.
Still thinking that day she threw me out the house. Fuck. Okay, maybe you right, baby. Maybe there's something to what you say. Maybe I can't face it. I know I'm sober, but if you roll it, I might face it. One thing by time, I'm gonna waste it. I've been trying to deal with it. I've been trying to heal a bit. Her favorite experiment. Okay, love I don't experience. Love I can't take serious. Just got me delirious.
I like this one a lot. Maybe You're Right is really good.
Motherfucker, you never answer your phone. I always gotta talk to this motherfucking bitch on a fucking voicemail, fucking recording.
Jesus, all right, relax a little bit, man. Maybe You're Right was great. I really enjoyed that one. I think that's one of my favorites on the project so far. Really like the way the production sounded, and like I said, just that difference in the hi-hats between, I believe it was the verses and the well, it was the verse and the refrain right here, and maybe it also happened on the chorus again, I'm not too sure, but just that switch in the hi-hats I think was so effective. It really carried the momentum forward in the track and just added a nice little switch up that I think really stands out and pops a little bit. I also liked Scrim's vocals right here. I think they worked really well along with that little sample in the background. The content of the track I think was solid as well. Oh, I believe it's a vocalist who recorded it, not a sample. There you go. I think that worked really well on this one. And I think that was a crazy bar as well. All it took was millions. Now my mama proud. That's all it took, huh? Still think of that day she threw me out the house. Wild. And yeah, I think the song was a banger. One of my favorites. I'm gonna go strong 7 right now on that one. Yeah, so still got favorites popping up throughout this, which is always nice, of course. Got a small handful of them so far, and I think that is one that just kind of stands out a little bit from the track list for me. Scrim was venting on stream about how sampling is his favorite thing to do, but it's frustrating because now that they are bigger, nobody will clear shit, even though they clear it for other artists. It's interesting. I guess some people just are maybe a little off-put about, maybe it's like the name, if it's for like Suicide Boys tracks, some artists might be a little bit more, you know, touchy about that maybe, I'm not too sure, but yeah, either way, that kind of sucks for them, yeah. Great track, no shit, 8 out of 10. There we go. What more could you ask for, really? So let's see where we go from there. I think that's a nice solid one. Track number 25 is Cortisol, the one from this project that I've heard previously. This was maybe the first single, second single, something along those lines. So let's see what it sounds like within the context of the album.
Fucking voicemail, fucking recording.
I've been crying with the top down, body hurting from the top down. I can't lie, I'm in a spot.
Remember the melody of it. I mean, it wasn't that long ago we heard it, but it's got a nice kind of full sound to it.
Trust nobody, no. Daddy say you never call me, no. Cut the lights off, it's a balling, no. I've been feeling all kinds of
That does hit a bit more within the context of the album, you know, Daddy Say You Never Call Me, Cut the Lights Off and Start Balling.
No, no, no. Lord, I know I ain't perfect, but I'm willing. I'm out of sick days and at least I'm healing. I don't wanna feel how I've been feeling. I've been feeling everything but forgiving, Lord.
Yeah, acoustic scrim on this track is definitely solid, Scarecrow. I think, again, I mentioned this when we listened to it as a single, I'm pretty sure, but like, the mixing really makes this one pop. I think those guitars are really well like mixed within the instrumental as well. Just everything has a nice presence on this track. And we got those drums coming in, very nice. Now. I do wonder, what makes you pick a song as a single out of like such a huge track list? I mean, this is a good song. I do think it stands out, but man, there is a lot of options to pick between. I like that kind of rawness of the vocals at the end here as well. Actually, I don't know if I noticed that before, but I quite like the rawness of that last sort of like vocal take for the outro of the song there. That's a pretty cool touch. Can't put down the cup. Oh my god, are we saying there's some commonality here between Dave Blunt's and Scrim? Collab soon? Maybe. As for this one, I think it's pretty solid. I think it hits well within the context of the album because it just provides a little bit additional context, I guess, to the content of this track, specifically, you know, the struggles that Scrim is having at the moment, feeling like he maybe doesn't contact his family, specifically his dad, enough. And yeah, I think it was a really effective one. I like that last vocal take, like I was saying, and the way that everything is mixed on this track. I feel like it just all takes up the right amount of space within the mix, which really makes the track come across professionally. It really hits. I'll give that one a nice solid 7 as well. Nice. That was what Chatta told Scrim to do, the screaming and the beat drop. I remember you mentioning about the beat drop. I didn't know he told him to do the sort of like screaming outro as well, which is pretty cool. So, hey, some solid direction from Chatta on that one, I would say. Nice stuff. Yeah, that's the biggest one on the project by far at the moment, but I'm sure some other songs will catch up. Knowing the fan base that that Scrim has, I imagine a lot of these tracks will grow to sizable stream numbers. I mean, everything from his last album, Via Crucius, is over 1 million. So I imagine, I wonder if the track list length will affect that. It would be impressive to get 59 tracks on your project that all have over 1 million streams. I'm curious to see if this one will get there. I mean, everything has over like, pretty much everything has over 20k at the moment, you know, pretty much the day after release. A lot of it's like 40, 50k, so it could get there eventually, man. You know, that's probably only one full day of streaming that's been tracked so far as well, so you never know where it could go. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. So let's see what we're going to get. Continuing on to track number 26, The Narrow Door. We're coming up on sort of like the end of the first half of the project right here. What a journey it has been, man. Let's see what we get on this one. Oh. What is that? Is that right? That the samples changes by Black Sabbath?
Yeah. Half made a wound, spell betrayal. Trying to keep it straight while they find an angle. Friends turn to strangers, family turn to angels. Sunday family dinner at an empty table. Yeah. Must be something in the air.
That's some insane hi-hats, bro.
Dream of what used to be sometime, the future way too bright. All these people dressing up the scene. I see why you get high, so they never reach you. If mama said don't talk to strangers, then who do I speak to? Count for like 3, 2, got sides, hold up, see through. Yeah, I'm bumping Black Sabbath. Script said one, but you know me, I pop me 2 tablets. Only thing that stays the same through the changes, bad habits. Stay full of them pills and full of that girl, you know I'm too Catholic. Losing control, fear of the unknown, I'm struggling hard to cope. Been trying to hold on, I lose my grip up on the road. I lost all hope when I heard they rather be on the go. This should be on the scope. And I was always told, be careful.
Oh, interesting. Scrim said it didn't get cleared, but that we would like what he did with it. Interesting. So, is it like, is the sample on here, or like it's like a sort of, you know, they recorded their own little version of it to use in here? Man. Wow.
Life is changing and moving on. Who are the strangers and where's my
He recorded his own vocal version. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If you can't clear it, make your own version of it.
Trying to keep it straight while they find an angle. Friends turn to strangers, family turn to angels. Sunday family dinner at an empty table. Yeah. Must be something.
It's a weighty drum beat. With some of the yeet lips.
I see why you get high, so they never reach you. If mama said don't talk to strangers, then who do I speak to? Count for like 3, 2, got sides, hold up, see through.
Okay, Narrow Door was a pretty cool one. Very heavy, weighty drums on that one. Hi-hats ticking off like crazy right there. Sounds like the I'm Going Insane vocals are similar to I'm Going Through Changes. Yeah, so that would have been what they sort of re-recorded here in place of using a direct sample. I mean, I think that's a fairly creative way to work your way around it, you know, just make something that's same but different, as they say, and then incorporate that as a sort of a full sample into your track. That was kind of cool. I think this one was pretty solid for what it was, with those weighty drums. Cool deliveries from Scrim once again. Would I go a 7 or 1 point lower here? I'm not too sure. It did have cool drums, cool production overall. I think the sort of sample, or like, you know, I don't want to say fake sample, but self-created sample here is, you know, it added another layer that maybe makes this one stand out a little bit more once again amongst the track list. I don't think there's anything wrong with too many 7s. I thought it was cool. I can't really believe that Ozzy stole that from Eminem, though, you know? I'm Going Through Changes. Where is the originality in the music game anymore? Come on now. Shocking. The workaround actually is unique and fits here. I think think it was pretty well done, yeah. I think it was well executed within this track. So let's see where we go from there on to track number 27, Weep For Me, For I Wither Away. With, oh, it was misspelled on the track name on Genius, but not on Spotify. Somebody goofed on that one. Can I edit it? Do I have enough Genius IQ? Oh, I do. Wait, can I actually edit this? Hell yeah, I'm going to fix it. Oh, it actually worked. It accepted my changes straight away. Bro, I could fuck up this page right now if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. All right, I was just fixing the spelling error.
You did good, say. It's
Smash.
Percocet demon, I'm cracking the semen, I pulled it up.
Hey, he's cracking the semen.
I bury my secrets to shoot 'em up. My idol with fiends, it became my dream to shoot it up.
Damn, that's crazy.
I did motives with love, it's getting real tough to know who is what. Firstborn on my daddy, I'm holding my brother cause nobody held me. Went full Machiavellian when I realized that nobody gon' help me. Was a long road to heaven, but it done got longer the more I got wealthy. I got some free pills in my therapist, falling that gin if I'm healthy.
Sopranos reference. That's like this. That's the second time I've heard a Melfi therapy bar. You know, it was on Drake's album pretty much. Sopranos reference in there, kind of, and another one right here. That didn't happen in the show, though. Oh no, I didn't notice Killjoy. Yeah, 4 minutes, so there probably is going to be some yap here. You know, for an album where I've complimented the mixing a lot, the vocals are a little quiet on this one compared to the beat. Oh wow. Not bad. Pretty solid banger right here. I just wish the vocals were a bit clearer. Weirdly, they were mixed a little quietly here.
I'm thinking about
what are you thinking about?
You know, when I first came in, you know, the thing that got me this time is I
At
wasn't
what
really,
point?
like I told you, I wasn't reading.
Man,
scriptures.
a minute
I was just kinda
30 of
going to
this?
Adoration Church and using their showers and eating their hot dogs. We used to do all these barbecues and watch Notre Dame games, meet all these monks, and it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like a clique. You know, you're just hanging out. It's like a block party or something with all these monks. It was mad weird, but I was up in Santa Ynez just kind of block partying with these monks. And it just felt like I was invited. There was like this invitation, you know, come live out what you're meant to be, son. You know, come with us. God meant you to be something. He meant you to be a Christian man, you know.
Come eat hot dogs,
Not
bro.
like
It's what
this
you were born to
docile,
do.
sanitized corporate thing, or, you know, go make the whatever.
Maybe
I
there's
used to
an
be like this
underlying
new
metaphor
corporate
in here.
racehorse for a long time. And then I blew that all up, and then I wound up in the wilderness like the wounded animal in this parking lot, and these dudes brought me in, and they're like, come on, bro, you're invited to the party. And they weren't like asking me what I ought to be, or what I ought to do to become a better man or something like that. it was more like, hey man, they weren't asking me like what I did wrong or nothing like that. They didn't ask me any of those questions. They were asking me questions like, what makes you feel alive, dude? You know, what stirs your heart up?
All right, well, got a bit more of Mr. LaBeouf on there, but the song itself, I think, was pretty cool right here. I enjoyed the production. I enjoyed the flows from Scrim right here. I do think those were very good on here. A little bit of a Sopranos reference, which I will always appreciate. Great show. This is just one of the ones, probably the only one so far where I'd be a little bit more critical of the mixing, which is a very rare issue on this project. I think the mixing has actually been really good at sort of emphasizing all the right aspects of these tracks so far, whereas on this one it was just a little bit quiet compared to the production. Like the volume of the drums, the instrumental and everything seemed normal. It was just the vocals that were a little bit quieter compared to everything else. But other than that, I think it's a nice solid banger that just had more yap at the end once again. We definitely need less of that, this project. I'm gonna give that one, still give the song, actually, I'm going to go strong 6, just because I do feel like the mixing would affect the replay value of that one for me, and the vocals being a little bit quiet. But the actual song itself, the way it was sort of put together in terms of the flow and the instrumental, that was pretty solid.
Nice.
Yeah. I know I mentioned College Park and its post-song spoken word pieces, but at least those were entertaining with the banter. Still affected replay value for some of the songs. Yeah, I think what kind of made it work with that is, I guess it tried to almost be a little bit more cinematic in its delivery. Like, it was really painting a picture and, like, trying to put you in the situation with these friends that are, like, you know, trying to make it and having a lot of back and forth banter, whereas this is just monologues, rather, from Shia, which it lost its luster pretty quickly. Now, to some extent, I can appreciate the album trying to keep a theme with that throughout its very long runtime, because I did, you know, wonder about that in the beginning. Is that something that it's going to continue throughout the project? And it has so far, but I think the way that it's being pulled off is slightly, it doesn't crop up on every track, but slightly to the album's detriment so far. Yeah. So let's see where we go from there onto the next one. The next one is track number 28, Nightmare on the North Side 4. So we got a little bit of a series track right here. Let's see how it goes.
Those questions, they were asking me questions like, what makes you feel alive, dude? You know, what stirs your heart up?
Smash. Ooh. This beat sounds a little twisted. Okay, pretty hard. Oh, that's a abrupt beat switch. I mean, definitely reflecting that nightmarish sound with the production here. Not mad at that. Abrupt switch, but I don't mind it. Another one.
Another one.
We're 1 minute 30 seconds in. We're on our third beat.
I'm pulling off hot. Too hard to believe they don't love me, so the breeze I tell myself. Suicide thoughts every time we're drunk.
Damn. I was thinking that too, Killjoy, but maybe with all these beats, this one might be all song. What's that, beat 4? Damn. No! Damn, we got blocked during the beat switch song on YouTube. Not during the beat switches, man. Come on. Twitch gang, we up once again.